the tape. We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach and the bench deep. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunker down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Found guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby Smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about, and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You like that? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
Division I football program on our way out to that other massive college football playoff game that we just got credentialed for. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the Film Guide Network on a fabulous Monday evening. We got an absolutely loaded show for you guys. Lots of news to talk about tonight. We got quarterbacks hitting the portal. We had a Heisman Trophy get awarded this weekend. People talk about that one ad nauseum. Going to be a great one. We've got previews of round 1 of the college football playoff. And, of course, like I said, we've got tons of news and notes to hit on today before we get into those college football playoff round 1 previews. Going to be a great one. Hit that thumbs up button on this here front end, okay? Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. We just got done watching Oklahoma versus Alabama, a little rewatch, okay, here on the network. Love doing that for the SEC Championship game. There are 2 rematches here in the first round of the college football playoffs. We're going to do that again for those. We just got done doing the Oklahoma-Alabama rewatch. We'll rewatch that Tulane versus Ole Miss drumming from, what was that, week 3? Back in September. It was a long time ago, so we rewatched that one. What were you guys' general takeaways from that initial rewatch? For me, watching R. Mason Thomas again was like, whoa, that guy's good. Wonder what they're going to look like when he gets back healthy. Yeah. That was my first immediate takeaway because, holy hell, that is their best defensive player. And he's missed the last month of college football.
Yeah, my takeaway was it was a miracle either of those teams scored 20 points that day.
I think it'll be a miracle if they score again this week.
Yeah, those offenses were getting shelled. Now, say what you want if Oklahoma and Alabama have bad offenses. They both had very, very good defensive performances in that game, and it showed. I mean, wow. But neither team could run the football. Both quarterbacks looked under stress. Both secondaries were playing out of their mind. Just very impressive defensive football.
I think the first thing – sorry to cut you off, Jonathan. I think the first thing I noticed was, damn, Alabama's offense has gotten hurt.
Yeah.
And damn, their defense was banged up when they played the last time. There was guys playing in that film study that we didn't see a month later in the Alabama defensive film, watching Auburn versus Alabama, or even watching Georgia versus Alabama in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
The path of health that these two units have taken could not be any more antithesis of one another right now at Alabama. Offense continuously banged up. Defense got healthier towards the end of the year and played better and better football. I feel like the offensive progression has gone downhill since then.
Yeah. Rewatching that game, it just like emphasizes how frustrating of a loss that is if you're an Alabama fan, because despite how strugglesome that offensive performance felt and how great Oklahoma's defense was playing in that game, you still put up 21 points. And on top of that, the only times that Oklahoma was really getting in the end zone or putting points on the board was self-inflicted wounds by yourself.
Yeah.
So it felt like it wasn't really a game that Oklahoma took away from you. Well, they did because they created turnovers, but it's just one of those losses where it's like, man, it feels like if just a few more things went right for us, that result is different. So it's why I said at the end of it, like, if Jam Miller's healthy and they don't turn the ball over, I think the result's probably going to flip around this time.
I think Kirby hit the nail on the head, and it's right here on my notes. It makes me wonder how either of those offenses are going to score this time around, man. I think the other thing you'll notice about, like, home field advantage in these playoff games is going to be real. Like, I thought SMU was drinking through a fire hose for 4 quarters last year.
Oh, for sure.
I thought they had no idea what to do in front of 103,000.
Good God. No.
I felt like in this football game, like in this matchup, watching that film and watching Oklahoma pass rushers tee up pass rushes on automatic passing downs, which, breaking news, they're going to get a lot of them in this football game again from this Alabama one-dimensional passing attack. The get-off that those edge rushers are going to have in comparison to what they got in the first matchup because they were on the road. I think in SEC play and SEC home environments, the biggest difference is the get-off that the defensive edge rushers have on the road. Or when they're playing at home, rather, because the opposing offense is having to go on silent counts or having to go off the center going on and controlling the count. Mm-hmm. And then you got tackles looking at the ball, seeing when the ball is going to get moved. I foresee Alabama having even more problems with pass protection based off what we just watched today.
Mm-hmm. I mean, definitely. And we've seen in, like, previous examples of, like, the only thing that you could apply to what Alabama is about to walk into this weekend is – when they had to go on the road to Georgia early on in the year, like that type of environment. That wasn't even a playoff environment, but that's a home night game at Sanford Stadium, ruckus environment, and what it took for them to ultimately win that game is what we've pounded upon for that game the entire year is they went 9 for 9 on third down, and Ty Simpson was dang near perfect. So if he does that again this weekend, like that feels like what it requires for Alabama to get a win.
Kirby, someone in the chat wants to know who's the Foyge grass in matchup in Norman, Oklahoma.
The word you were reading is pronounced foie gras.
I mean, this is America. What are they speaking?
Why
aren't they speaking American?
It's a delicacy. Have you not heard of this?
What is a delicacy?
It's a type of like food that you get in the very luxurious spaces.
Huh.
It's goose liver that has cirrhosis. It's actually horrifically torturous to the animal, but it's pretty tasty. So,
and that's Foyge grass. That's what that is?
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. We'll go with that.
Okay. Should be interesting. Yeah, fun rewatch. I don't know if we're going to have as much fun tomorrow watching Tulane and Ole Miss.
Probably not.
No, probably not.
Not a
Do you
very
think
good
we will
game.
do as many views? I'm going to say no. Hot take.
I don't know. Maybe the Tulane crowd is tapped
Dude,
in like that.
the Miami fans showed up a little delayed. The algorithm popped them late, but we started seeing some Hurricane fans show up in that film study. I'm glad to see that. That thing peaked over 20,000 views. We didn't waste our time.
Good.
Now, I think about 18,000 of those were Texas A&M fans, but that's okay.
Hey.
We'll find out. All right, let's get into the actual news. Here's the real breaking news. This show has officially been credentialed for a college football playoff game that does not include the Georgia Bulldogs. How about that?
Making
These
history.
boys right here going to be taking the long 14-hour drive out to Kyle Field to watch the first-round matchup between the Miami Hurricanes and the Texas A&M Aggies.
Yes,
How
we
about
are.
that?
Dude.
Yes, we are.
I'm excited. Not for the 14-hour car ride. That's going to be pretty tumultuous.
I mean, it was either that or spend $3,500 on plane
Oh,
tickets.
no,
No offense. We ain't got that kind of budget.
it's
No.
definitely the right option. It's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting though.
What I'm really sweating is going from College Station, driving back home, going to New Orleans, and then figuring out everything after that. I looked at plights. I looked at it's my plight. I looked at flights today, or we looked at flights today to Arizona. It's going to cost us a mortgage to cover this football team. Mm-hmm. To cover football.
Pays to be good.
If they make it that far.
If they make it that
They got
far.
to make it that far.
I mean, dude, at this rate, we might be going, period. How about that?
Huh? Could be.
Guys, we're on a hot streak in postseason play. Yours truly, credentialed last year to the national championship game that Georgia did not play in. You guys gave me crap because I got championship confetti in that there jar. Okay?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
We were there, and the first playoff game not involving Georgia, all three of us are credentialed for this year.
You
So
know,
how about that?
Here's how we can bust that theory. And
Bust it wide open. The theory, that is.
You've been to how many SEC championship games?
Ooh. This is going to sound like a real flex. I think I've forgotten, Kirby.
Okay.
I mean, Kirby forgot how many times he's played it. He's coached in it too. So
I mean, as have I. I think I've forgotten.
Do you have confetti from every winner in that SEC championship
Yes.
champions jar?
Yes.
So even the ones where LSU and Alabama won and
Yes.
all those?
Yes.
Oh, so that's like really a
That's a jar of champions.
okay.
You thought I was playing.
As long as that's what it is. I didn't know if we just had this was a Georgia jar, then we'll throw some Ohio State in there. But
going back to the conversation about going to the Texas A&M playoff game, I mean, you just had to know that the good Lord was going to pave a way for us to drive back through Mississippi this year.
Yep.
You just knew it was going
That's
to
what
happen.
it was. Now, it'll be a quick drive.
Yeah.
It'll be a quick drive right through the SIP. And we'll say what's up, and then we'll keep pushing.
But yeah,
We'll drive right. I mean, we'll be able to see Starkville from the interstate. I'm pretty sure. Does 20 run through just north of Starkville?
buddy, you're asking the wrong
Yeah,
guy.
probably. We'll be on I-20 for a good 700 miles tomorrow or Thursday. That'll
that's
be
it?
fun. Yeah, I mean, it's a good poke. So that's the real news. We don't want to bury any leads today. We'll be out at Kyle Field in College Station starting Friday morning. All right, we'll be there all day, and then we're hopping back in the car Saturday after the game to drive back so yours truly can be right here inside this studio as noon reaction shows kick off on Sunday.
Lord.
Man, oh man.
Don't ever say I'm not committed to working around here.
Yeah, hey.
You know?
I don't think anyone's ever said that.
I mean, maybe one of these days we'll have private jet money. I don't think that's any time in our near future.
We got
but
long lives to live.
Maybe.
I
You
don't
know,
know.
three PJ tickets. Do they charge those per ticket or per PJ? How's that work?
I think it's just the plane.
Okay.
I would assume so. It's
Just rent the plane?
it's about the fuel and the plane itself more than anything.
As long as I don't ever have to worry about commercial flight ticket money. I don't need a PJ.
There's a cold Drake lyric, 30-seater plane for about 10 of us. Maybe one day.
I'm good.
Maybe a 20-seater plane for the three of us. Just stunt like that.
What if we just got a Cessna?
A what?
Oh,
Like a
now
small,
you're
like-
talking about investing.
Small plane for us. One of us gets our license. I have a buddy who has a pilot license. He could teach me.
We have a buddy that has a pilot's license.
Yeah, he's close like listener of the show. I
don't
wouldn't call him
hey,
a friend.
He was in my wedding. That is a close friend. All right.
Damn, you didn't make a wish at your wedding? That's crazy.
Whoa.
Hey, big time event.
I've shown that guy plenty of love over the years. We could give him some shit every once in a while. Maybe I'll call Paul. Say, hey, Paul, can you figure out logistics here
Can you
for the
lease
homie?
it?
Yeah, can I lease it?
What about? I mean,
What?
We're just at this point just talking travel plans on the show. What about trains?
Trains, planes, and automobiles.
In the Amtrak to
Ooh.
College Station, or we've already got the rental car.
Is
but-
there? Well, I mean, I haven't paid for it yet. Just got the reservation. I'd be down to train it.
Are you seriously gonna look up
I'm
trains
gonna look up
out?
train tickets for you.
Oh my god!
Well, let's do the rest of the show, and I'll be doing research.
According
on
to
it.
Kevin-
Apparently, trains are hella expensive.
We'll see.
That is beyond me.
We'd still have to get a rental car.
Do y'all want to talk about the actual news now?
Yeah,
Let's
let's
do
get
it.
into some
All
actual
right.
news.
Hey, there are some quarterbacks that hit the portal today, or over the weekend, rather. 4 names that we're going to talk about today. Dylan Raiola. All right, my man Sorsby out there in Cincinnati. DJ Lagway and Sam Leavitt are all officially in the portal. What?
It's just laughing at chat.
Where do you want to start here, boys? Seems to me we should start with the obvious where this guy's going. It seems pretty clear to me that Brendan Sorsby is a Texas Tech Raider.
Oh,
Red Raider.
really?
I mean, why else is his girlfriend committing to Texas Tech today?
I don't know. See, that
who
just tells
also
me
happens to be a softball player, I think.
you've entered a different side of social media than I have yet because I haven't seen this stuff.
Well, since I dared to talk shit about the oil tycoon, my algorithm is inundated with Red Raider content.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've seen some Texas Tech meme accounts be out here doing the investigative reporting of the fact that the girlfriend of Sorsby is now committed to Texas Tech, and he commented, "Love this,"
Okay.
with a love emoji. So, yeah, I think we got a Big 12 interconference transfer. How's that work, by the way? Does he have to sit out in the SEC? He would. Does he have to sit out in the Big 12? Probably not. That's why he's making this
Don't
move.
know. I would imagine not if he's doing this.
It's so hard to keep up with who has eligibility and what the transfer rules by
Sorry,
conference are. at this
volleyball
point.
player is the girlfriend. My bad.
Come on, man.
Get it right.
But yeah, it's hard to keep up with what's
Title IX.
what's allowed and what's not based on conferences. So I don't know, but I mean, it does kind of have the this has Texas Tech written all over it for sure.
Now, the interesting one to hear about was the fact that Lenora Sellers re-signed with South Carolina.
Yeah.
That's official?
I don't know if it's like official, but supposedly
It's a little-
like they have reaching the
crazy to
final
me.
terms of the agreement.
It's a little crazy to me, to be honest with you. Hey, but you know what? New OC, you got a Browse in there. Maybe things ought to be fun. Maybe he can KJ Jefferson that offense,
Perhaps.
because that was the last real offensive success that Kendall had, right? It didn't go that great at TCU, did it?
Not that I
Where's
remember.
Kendall been? Will you look up his track record? It was Arkansas, and then I think he replaced Garrett Riley out there at TCU with Sonny Dykes. I could be wrong.
He was at Arkansas from 2020 to 2022, and then TCU from 2023 to 2025.
So I was right. Not wrong there. It's been mediocre out there at TCU, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, been very up and down. I will say this: they're balanced from having studied Josh Hoover over the last couple of years. They have games where they throw for 500, games where they run for 300. So it should be interesting to see what South Carolina does. Hadn't been a great track record of success so far under Beamer at the OC position.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Dylan Raiola enters the transfer portal today. Now, that should have been known, should have been obvious for a variety of reasons. Let's just look at the last 6 months. Lil Bro decommitted from Nebraska. Big Uncle got fired as offensive line coach in Nebraska. About a month ago, we got the Dylan Raiola might feel out the portal. This one was written on the wall. Don't even have to do that. You can go back into his further career. Look, I believe in this stuff. You can call me a hater. You can call me a dude that's worried about high schoolers, whatever you want to call me. I'm a guy whose job it is to talk about college football and player acquisition strategies and players' histories of decision-making processes kind of play out when they're in college. For example, when you go to four high schools, when you commit to 3 different college football programs during those 4 high school stops, and then you transfer after year 2 of starting at Nebraska where you're I'm not shocked. I'm not out here like, oh my God, can't believe Dylan Raiola hit the portal. Nope. This is kind of the track record. This is 7 schools in 6 years for this football player. And I don't know why. I have no idea why there were 4 high school stops. I'm sure all of them will be excused away. All of them, I'm sure, if we set the camp down and say, hey, why'd y'all go from this school to this school? Well, family had to move. Okay, well, why'd y'all go from this school to this school? Well, we didn't like coaching staff. Okay, well, why'd y'all go from this school to this school? Well, we transferred too much, so we couldn't play at that school, but the Georgia high school would take us. We can do all of this, and in reality, I think this is a guy that is probably going to do this for the rest of his career, maybe. And I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, certainly like short-term events have pointed towards we were even saying it when it looked like Matt Rule might be the next head coach at Penn State. It was like, well, we already know who Penn State's next quarterback is going to be. It's going to be Dylan Raiola. Like, that's just like the connection we made of like he would transfer out of Nebraska, fall as head coach. And then the injury happens and Uncle's no longer on staff. Like, all of it just kind of seemed like it was leading up to him entering the portal. And there you go. It'd be one of the biggest names in the portal for sure.
Look, I know of 2 other prospects that I have covered from sophomore year of high school until the conclusion of their college career that have made 4 high school stops. One of them was Bear Alexander.
Right.
The other one was Jermaine Burton. And then there's this one. Now, he might buck the trend. By the way, I think Bear's doing a decent job of bucking this trend. Bear's committed to coming back to Oregon for next year. Bear will probably be a top 90 selection when he's done with his college career.
Yep.
But also will have played at 3 schools.
And you know what? He'll have to answer for that when he goes to the NFL. I don't know what is the reasoning other than my team sucks for Raiola to leave Nebraska.
There really isn't one. Other than the reason, or the reasons I went here to be with my uncle, to all of this, it's not panning out the way I thought it would. It's not the thing that I envisioned, that I dreamed about when I committed to this school. And I'm now realizing that I'm in the probably what I believe will be the final year of my collegiate career. So I need to find somewhere where I'm going to compete and win, because it's very obvious that's not going to happen at Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, just put it in simple terms of this. Like, what would be better for the trajectory of Dylan Raiola's career? We saw what year 3 of Matt Rule looked like at Nebraska. It didn't live up to the expectations. It was another middling season for them. The offense continued to struggle despite efforts for them to add in weapons and add in offensive power around Raiola. It really didn't pan out. So in that regard, it makes sense to go somewhere else. Like, we're entering our 3rd year of college play. We need to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to envision ourselves as a first-round prospect next year.
There were rumors that this guy was going to spend a year in Nebraska and then try to come back to Georgia.
I remember those.
There were serious rumors.
I remember I'm getting
that
my
I
bag.
think started from his camp. To be honest
Doesn't
with you.
surprise me.
So this has kind of been a thing.
But at the end of the day,
What's up?
Dylan Raiola could go to, just for hypothetical sake, let's say Dylan Raiola goes to Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech has an incredible season. He's a first-round draft pick.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I think he's immensely talented.
Yeah, like it
I think
all
he
works
plays
out in
the
the end for
quarterback
him.
position the right way. I think he plays it on time. I think he thinks and sees the game the right way. I do wish he'd throw the ball a little bit firmer every once in a while, but other than that, he's athletically limited. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I don't think he's like some elite extender of the play. I think he's a pocket passer that makes great decisions with the football normally. I think he's got to be surrounded by good parts, though, the next
For
spot.
sure.
This is a guy that, I mean, his last year of high school football, he was running for his life behind that Buford offensive line, if y'all ever watched. He got sacked 8 times in his last high school football game.
Yep.
He goes out to Nebraska for 2 straight years. Can't protect him at all. Now he's hurt, right? He's got broken fibula, I think is what it was, right? Very high up in his shin was the fibula, so much so that people think it might be a knee thing, is how high up that is. So very interesting to see where that one ends up. I'm going to go through my guesses on where all these guys end up here in just a second. Now, this DJ Lagway story, this is very, very interesting because it's very clear to me that Lagway's camp has been very, very open to talking to media in the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. However long it's been since this story hit the timeline, DJ Lagway's folks are talking to people. Most notably 24/7. Chris Hummer did a great job. By the way, when I say these things, I never blame the reporter. You have to do what you have to do. If a member of a quarterback's camp like DJ Lagway wants to provide you quotes, you have to run those quotes. And I thought Hummer did a great job of doing the job of running the quotes from Lagway's camp while also being honest with Lagway's camp in the middle of the article. About halfway through, it's right there where it says, Lagway has underperformed and not met expectations. He has not been, I'm paraphrasing, he has not been good enough right after the quotes of them basically defending the decision here. Look, it's very clear to me what happened here. I think what happened here, in my opinion, and my sourced opinion, they brought that kid into the room or the building today, and they were like, you know what? If this kid's going to be the leader of my organization, I'm gonna see what I got in this kid. They set him down and basically had an NFL combine type of put you through the ringer, see what kind of mental acumen you got, see what type of, how you respond to adversity. And I don't think you responded all that well. I think they went in there and, like the report said, tried to see what kind of competitive character they had in Lagway. And Lagway was like, whoa, this ain't gonna be no audition. This is my job.
I mean, you have to think that was a total page turn compared to what the last 2 years of DJ Lagway's college career has been so far, because This guy was brought in as a 5-star recruit, the savior of the Florida Gators. This was the future at the position. He was going to bring them out from the bottom and on top of the conference, all of those things. And Billy Napier even spoke about him that way despite the struggles that he was having. I mean, there was quotes of Billy Napier this year saying, like, yeah, DJ Lagway struggled this year, but he's got that look in his eye right now.
Got that look in his eye, Jonathan.
He's got that look in his eye right now. So, I mean, and right on.
Teammates took him to dinner.
And Billy Napier had to do those things because he's fighting for his job. He's got to make sure that he's doing everything that he can to make sure that his quarterback has the utmost confidence about himself to make sure that he performs well. So all these great things are being said about DJ Lagway during that time, and then you get a new head coach in there, a new OC in there, and they're like, buddy, the last year or year and a half of you playing has not been great. This is what we have to change. This is what we think you can't, like all these things. And so it's completely different from what he's experienced his entire career.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense from DJ Lagway's standpoint of you feel like you've given a lot to this university. You feel like you've given a lot of your time, a lot of efforts. It's been a very hard, tumultuous career so far. And then this new guy's going to walk in and kind of, for lack of a better word, treat you this way. I understand the frustrations. I understand why Summerall and their camp are doing this as well. By the way, the price tag on DJ Lagway isn't necessarily cheap. So if this guy's going to stick around for you, he better be a really damn good quarterback.
And Kirby, I'm sure that was part of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it was, hey, we've got you on our books right now making however much.
Right.
If you think you're coming back next year, it's for this much.
Yeah. And
you have the opportunity to earn your right back into that contract you used to have. But, buddy, you're not playing like a $4 million quarterback. I hope you know that. So, I think Summerall did the right thing here in bringing that kid in, immediately testing him and saying, this is it. You have an opportunity to compete your way in here. You're going to start from scratch, yada, 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 whatever the conversation was. And if he showed you any intentions to not want to drop everything and compete, that's not what we need to start the new program with.
Right.
You know what I mean? You need to start your program with, these guys are here to compete and start from scratch.
Right. I do wonder if you, as John Summerall, if you did yourself a disservice here because the first, 2 weeks that you're at this place, you've already ran off the starting quarterback. That, from what I understand, we don't have our thumb on the pulse of Florida fan base as much as others, but Lagway was well liked for some part. Like, he was one of the more liked players on that team. So for the new head coach to come in and run this guy off immediately and have him leave on what seems to be bad terms, that might not be great for the image.
And, I mean, that too, like, Lagway wasn't the only Florida player to hit the portal today. I mean, Castile was also a player that entered the portal. They had a tight end enter the portal as well. So, I mean, it's not like this was just a DJ Lagway thing if they were like, this is we're just going to go make sure that we test DJ Lagway today. Like, I'm sure that this was the case for a lot of players that played at Florida this past season. It was like, well, we need to make sure that we keep the ones that really want to be here or the ones that we feel like are the best fit or they feel like they're the best fit here.
I also found this weird narrative to immediately hit the timeline, and it's such a, oh, damn, DJ Lagway's camp texted you. That's why you're tweeting this. The idea that DJ Lagway didn't want or may not have wanted to play in Buster Faulkner's system because it is a, quote, quarterback run-heavy system. Guys, I don't know if y'all watched Florida play this year, but they ran him probably 7 or 8 times a football game. There were quarterback draws in every football game that he played. There were quarterback jet reads in every game he played. Like, they were using his legs because they had to last year. So that's first point, first and foremost. Secondly, I don't know if y'all know this, but Buster Faulkner has not only called offensive plays or only been in offensive systems at Georgia Tech. He did not run an option-based offense when he was at Southern Miss as a play caller. And he won 2 national titles as an assistant offensive football coach at Georgia with Stetson Bennett. So all of this stuff is just narrative controlling attempts. That's all it is. And I hope that throughout the years of being on this network and listening to places like this, you as an audience member might be able to start sorting some of this stuff out. Like when you read that 24/7 article today, you got to immediately go, oh, I know where these quotes came from. That should be what you should be able to now surmise as an audience member reading through all of this stuff, I would hope, after years of listening to this place. We read so you don't have to. That's the whole point of it. But when you do, I hope you can see through some of that stuff. The Leavitt thing is the only one I don't really get. I don't know why people are so bullish on him. I have never watched Sam Leavitt play and been like, that's a top 5 quarterback in this sport. I've always seen him as a very frantic, run first, let's hope Jordan Tyson's open type of quarterback.
Would you compare him to the Noah Fafita tutorial McMillan?
No, because I felt like Fafita was 5'8" and was a one-read merchant. At least when Jordan Tyson's not open, Leavitt now becomes the next biggest threat on the field. I never felt like Fafita was ever that.
I think we get once of these a year where a player performs really well in a bowl game, and that hype transfers over.
Oh, it's the Texas game.
From the off season to the next season. The same thing happened with Cade Klubnik against Texas, where it's like, man, that second half against Texas, Cade Klubnik was dealing. He's a top 5 quarterback in the sport coming in this year. I feel like there's been a little bit of that with Sam Leavitt where it's like, man, they looked really good in the Peach Bowl. He was really playing well. Given that Texas defense, the SEC defense, everything they had to handle, Arizona State hasn't been necessarily in the limelight in the national media space. So the assumption is kind of just like, yeah, really good quarterback Sam Leavitt.
And you know what's crazy, Christian? And I know we're very different than other places. But we turned that Texas tape on this summer. And I told you what, we can't watch it. I can't bring this to people because I'm going to crap on him.
Yep.
And people think this is his best performance.
Right.
I mean, seriously, not being a hater, not trying to be a hater. Hey, chat, do you remember a single throw from that game against Texas that Sam Leavitt made?
I can say I don't.
I can say I do. It was the one-on-one shot to Cam Scatterbo that he made an incredible catch on.
Yep.
That's it. And we don't – like, what did he – I know he got hurt this year, but what did he do this year? Did he play great football for Arizona State this year? Did he play I'm giving that guy $5 million to change my offense type of football?
I think he played pretty decent.
In 7 games, he threw for 1,628 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions.
Solid.
And probably added another 250 yards rushing.
Really solid quarterback play, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that's in
300.
And again, there's nothing wrong
5 rushing touchdowns.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you need. That's what a lot of these schools could use. I mean, hell, solid quarterback play, sign me up. There's going to be a lot of schools that are asking for that. So I understand why Sam Leavitt is kind of, a hot name. I also don't think that he's one of, we're all on the same page of this guy's not going to be like the next Joe Burrow.
You know where he's going?
Where's he going?
You just mentioned it. I think he's going to be an LSU Tiger.
LSU's getting a lot of names, apparently.
I think that moving forward, Lane Kiffin will not recruit a single quarterback that can't run like Trinidad did last year.
It's interesting.
Or this year for Ole Miss.
Did you see Trinidad's quote today?
Yeah, it was ominous, to say the least.
Yeah.
That was very ominous. What Jonathan's referring to is Trinidad was asked today during the media availabilities leading up to their bowl game or their playoff game this weekend against Tulane. Hey, if you get that additional year of eligibility that you're applying for right now with the NCAA, are you going to be back at Ole Miss? And his answer was, I don't know.
I'll have to see where the best fit for me is.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you right now, he going to get a call from Lane Kiffin.
100%.
He going to get a call from Lane Kiffin. And by the way, his quarterback's coach at LSU too. Now, they're back. Those guys are all back. They're back coaching at Ole Miss because Lane wanted to let those guys coach, and that's awesome for Lane to do that. But that guy's going back to LSU when he's done coaching at Ole Miss.
I think a school that now of course when quarterbacks are in the transfer portal, the first school that gets thrown at, and I did it today with DJ Lagway of Miami's the first school because this is what they have done the last 2 years. They have found an experienced quarterback that they throw money at, and they tend to have successful years with them. So that's the first school that I think one that.
I think the smarter thing for Miami to do would be to take Raiola.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by that at all.
Not as turnover prone.
I'm sure he'd do well in that offense. That's a mold that fits him.
I mean, he kind of is Carson to an extent.
No, yeah.
They're different football players, but they have the same limitations.
I think a school that people should kind of be keeping an eye on is Tennessee.
Yeah?
Like Joey Aguilar's doing the thing of he's trying to fight for next year of eligibility as well. And if he doesn't, then they still have Jake Merklinger. They have George McIntyre. They're bringing on Faison Brandon. But two of those guys were also on the roster this offseason when they elected to go get Joey Aguilar. And not to say that they don't think that Merklinger or McIntyre could be the future of this offense, but who's to say that if they don't get Joey Aguilar back that they would like to add a body with experience and a guy that is proven at the college level? I mean, I just think that that's one that they could certainly – I would keep an eye on it. I mean, you get Mike Matthews back another year. You get your running backs back. I think it's one to keep an eye on, in my opinion.
Don't sleep on the Volunteers. Speaking of sleep, don't sleep on our friends over at Sleeper. In case you're wondering what Sleeper is a fantasy and real money gaming app that is focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. It has become one of the fastest organically growing fantasy platforms in the entire world and has some of the highest user engagement in the industry. It's not just about sports at Sleeper. It's about building personal connections. If you head over there today, you'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100 if you use promo code Brooks. That means when you sign up, put $100 in, you'll get $100 completely free, no questions asked. Again, that is promo code Brooks. Thank you to our friends over at Sleeper.
I'm flabbergasted.
What are you doing over there?
Buddy, I'm watching Georgia high school football. I can't believe Creekside's losing right now to Benedictine. I thought they were going to blow the doors off of that football team.
We'll have to ask Ben Wolk how that's going.
Is he there?
I think. When I talked to him at the SEC Championship game, he was going.
Ben Woke, I mean, apart from Jeremy Johnson, Ben Woke covers high school football harder than anybody in this
Sure
state.
does.
He would be there life or death.
Yeah.
Why is he not?
I asked him to actually get me some confetti when he leaves.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And he hit me with
You could put it in the jar.
He hit me with the
Boy, if that guy is not there, there must be a reason.
Better be a good reason.
What did you do, Ben Wolk?
What you do, Ben Woke?
Ben Wolk's being bad, man.
Spoiler alert, he's not there. He is not there. He is
It's all right.
not
Hey,
happy.
look, I've been
And
blacklisted.
if you follow him, you're very well aware that he is not there right
He
now.
is not there, and he is not happy. I think he was happier to see trash being thrown on the field at Texas than to watch high school
That was being
football
thrown at
right
him.
now.
Hey, look,
That's just
me and Ben Wolk share a lot in common. I've been blackballed from SEC events. He's been blackballed from GHSA events.
Hashtag free my boy Woke.
Free Woke.
Free Woke. Here's my guesses. You ready?
Let's hear him.
I think Raiola goes to Miami. I think Sorsby's already a Red Raider.
All right.
I think Sam Leavitt goes to LSU, and I think DJ Lagway is a Baylor Bear.
makes
Oh.
sense. Makes sense. Dad played there.
Baylor Bear time. Bear down.
Is that what their thing is?
I don't know. Y'all want to talk about the Heisman, though?
Yeah, we need to talk about the Heisman. I think.
All right, let's talk about the Heisman. Mendoza wins it. And I thought, like I said last week going into the show, I thought he was an obvious choice for the Heisman. I thought nationally he was going to be the voted the winner and walking away. And I think he did so. Didn't he finish with twice as many votes as Pavia?
Yeah, it was
pretty convincing.
It was pretty
It was pretty
convincing victory.
I do feel weird about it. I'm not going to lie. I feel weird that it's not his fault. It has nothing to do with Mendoza. He had a great season. I think it has everything to do with where we're at now in college football. I don't know if we're ever going to have – we might have one next year. I might be totally wrong on this. But I think with the way the parity has created or the way the parity has happened in college football, games are tighter. This idea that you're going to throw for 6,000 yards on your way to a Heisman Trophy nowadays, like I just don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if games allow that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it can be done still. I think what we're just in an interesting time where you haven't had otherworldly spectacular quarterback play for 2 years in a row now. Like last year it was between a guy who's splitting time between DB and wide receiver and a running back in the G5. Like the Power 4 quarterback just lighting it up on the stat sheet and having these incredible seasons hasn't happened, and we're kind of overdue for it in my opinion.
Honestly, like Pavia doesn't put up these numbers if he doesn't like goofy stat sheet Vatech, goofy stat sheet Utah,
Correct.
goofy stat sheet Kentucky. Like we don't do these things.
No.
We don't even put up the numbers that we did if we don't run it up on the teams that we were obviously beating.
Yeah. He did himself no favors this weekend. My Lord.
I figured we were getting to
My
that.
gosh.
I figured we were going to bury the lead on that one. Everybody's already taking their shots at that guy.
I mean,
what up?
Can I be brutally honest about it?
Go for it, dude.
I would like to be brutally honest about how I felt that, like, how I read all of that stuff happening of F the voters, all those things. To me, that came across as our time in the limelight is done. Our time in the spotlight is over. Once college ball is done. Now, he might go off to the NFL and be in the league for 10 years, whatever, but his time as one of the main characters in a sport, in a timeline, is over. And so that's how we're going to act because now it's all over. Like, that was our last shot at, like, hey, I won the Heisman. That was it. What a perfect cap off to a career for me. But because I didn't and because I don't have to appease anybody else, I get to act this way. I get to say F the voters, and I get to be disgraceful towards people who put me in that position in the first place. That's how it came across to me.
Tremendous amount of respect for Fernando, but fuck Indiana. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I think that's the first F-bomb we've had on the show in a minute.
while. And it wasn't me. I was quoting Pavia's drink board, by the way.
Yeah.
That was not me. That's his drink board at that New York City club.
Yeah, you're absolutely right in this, Jay Wolf. It felt very much like, hey, this is kind of it. This is the one opportunity I'm going to have in my life where I'm the center of attention, where I'm on the top of the sporting world. I'm going to show my ass, and I'm going to enjoy this moment. So I can't say I blame him for it. I can't say this is a disgrace. Certainly he did not do himself favors. Certainly he kind of got the moniker of, oh, this guy's an asshole towards his name, and he clearly doesn't mind by that. But it's not how I would have handled myself. It's not how I think you should handle yourself if you have any aspirations of having a professional career in this sport. But I digress because I am not one of those people.
I also think he only, look, I am one of these people, so I shouldn't say I'm not. I think that no different than, that's going to sound crazy, I shouldn't say that. I think that being the Heisman Trophy winner, you have to carry yourself with some type of class. I think he only, you're going to say Johnny.
Yeah, I mean.
You're going to say Johnny, and I get that. And why can't Johnny be a unicorn? Why can't Johnny be one of one? Also, why can't Johnny Manziel be a cautionary tale for every goofball that wants to act like this? You think it's ended well for Johnny Manziel? You think it's been good for him? You think that if he could redo everything all over again, he would do it exactly the same way? Because he might act like that, but I don't think he really believes that in his heart of hearts. I think he believes that he pissed away an opportunity. That's what I think. If you could really ask Johnny what Johnny's got going on, I think that's what he would say. That it's great to be a college football legend, but being a legend would be way better. So why can't that guy be a cautionary tale? Why is that guy the example? He shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
No, you're absolutely right. But at the same time, the tunnel vision of I'm getting compared to what is probably the coolest college football player to ever exist. The maverick, the ideal maverick of the sport, to where he was kind of the first F the system guy. I'm doing what I want. Living a rapper lifestyle as a college football player at 19 years old. I get why that's appealing to 25-year-olds, but again, it's not how I would have handled myself. I do understand why some people act that way because that's just who they are. But
not to cape for Johnny or to excuse any of his actions away by saying this, but Johnny Manziel won the Heisman because he was undoubtedly the greatest quarterback in college football at that time. That guy was it. He was the show. He was what majority of people were tuning into every single weekend. He was the guy. Not that Diego Pavia wasn't one of these, but he wasn't that level of this is a guy.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny Manziel beat Nick Saban and Kirby Smart in Tuscaloosa, and Diego Pavia lost by 16 points. So,
yeah.
Not the same.
No. I can tell you this right now. I don't think I'll ever have Pavia on the wall.
No.
You know? Also, when I asked today, who's gone from lovable underdog to this unlikable this fast? A lot of people said Johnny. Johnny, to me, was a guy that was so polarizing from jump. People either liked him, disliked him, and only became further entrenched into that viewpoint the further and further he got. You know what I mean? The bigger that story got, people just further entrenched themselves on those aisles of, I hate this guy or I like this guy. Even me, this year I've gone from, talk your shit, Pavia, do your thing, to, hey, man, what are we doing? Come on, man. Also, by the way, as someone who has rocked the suit turtleneck chains, that one's retired forever. That suit combination of rocking gold chains with a green suit and a gold or a bronze, a gold turtleneck, gone. It's out. I'm done with it. It's gone for me. Probably shouldn't have rocked it in the first place, but I thought it looked good in it.
Not to toot my own horn, but I do remember giving the take this offseason that this was going to wear thin on people.
You're right.
The Diego Pavia story was great. The Vanderbilt story was great last season, but things like this typically tend to snowball, and eventually it's going to get to a point where people are like, get this guy out of here. We've heard enough about him. We've seen enough of him. I'm tired of it. And that's the point that it reached.
And I do want to at least give Diego Pavia some credit because his fall from grace has not been anything legally involved. There's not been.
Right.
Now, there's been family issues, and that's a whole separate story for him. But
Twice removed.
Right. It's not like Diego Pavia was out here getting DUIs and getting in trouble for drugs and all those things. Like, he's just been arrogant.
Obnoxious.
Yeah, and like, there's worse things you can be in this world than obnoxious and arrogant. So I think that we should end with that of probably not a very likable figure right now, but at the end of the day, he could be worse.
Also should just end with the fact that this dude probably 110% believes that the reason he is as successful as he is because he carries himself that way.
Sure.
Yep, absolutely.
He walks around the world with an FU attitude, and that's gotten him to where he is right now. When he looks at his bank account, he says, I did that because I told the world to F off, and he's continued to do so. Now, I am not one of these people that's like, oh, he tanked his draft stock. Buddy, I'm here to tell you right now, I don't think this guy was ever going to be drafted inside the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft, period. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to hear none of that. Also, the weird storyline out of this weekend was people talking about whether or not Mendoza was going to fit into an NFL locker room. Who started that nonsense?
I don't know.
Is it because he talks about Jesus? Is
Probably.
that what it is?
I think it's just the overall.
I'm nice and I talk about God. That's what that is.
The goody two-shoes vibe type thing,
Yeah.
I guess.
You know who ruined this for everybody? Carson Wentz. People look at Carson Wentz and his inability to relate to NFL locker rooms, and they're like, oh, well, you can't do it the quote-unquote Jesus freak way, when they don't realize that Carson Wentz was just not relatable at all.
I think
Carson Wentz didn't care to make friends with his teammates. This guy does.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, and this also comes to the classic human nature of I'm not necessarily happy with the results of this, so I have to find the next place down the road to find them to fail. Because obviously I can no longer say that Fernando Mendoza is not a Heisman quality candidate. So now I have to say it's never going to work out in the NFL. He's too weird. He's goofy. This isn't going to work. So, like, you just have people just keep moving the goalposts and hope that they'll be right eventually. So is Fernando Mendoza someone that I think is, like, you know, would want to hang out with them on 24 hours out of the day? Probably not, but does that make him any less of a teammate? Does that make him any less of a leader? No, absolutely not.
All right, this storyline, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. This storyline has dominated the news headlines for the last week, which is, in fact, that Michigan head coaching job. Obviously, it is open. Sherrone Moore was fired at the end of last week. The news cycle has gone and ran. We gave you all of our reactions on that when it happened, okay? So we've given all of our takes. I've gone viral several times over the fact for our top 5 dumbass moves in that situation. It was total dumbassery from top to bottom. Now they have an opening job at what is obviously a consensus top 10 job in all of college football. And the candidates list is as follows. Kalen DeBoer, who has already admitted stated, I will be back at Alabama next year, admirably. What do you call that? What's the other word I'm looking for there? It starts with an A.
Adamantly?
Adamantly, not admirably. Adamantly said he will be back at Alabama next year. Kenny Dillingham up for this job. Reports today he is trying to near an extension with Arizona State. I don't know how true that is. And Jed Fish is up for this job as well.
There's reports that DeBoer is working.
Yep.
So I think this is a great time to say that I personally, and me and Jay were talking about this, so I'll impugn this, we take what these guys say in front of the mics of this is ridiculous, I'm not doing this, with a grain of salt at this point. And not to say that college football head coaches are sneaky, even though the Michigan one was being pretty sneaky just a few months ago. I think it's
that ball was sliding.
Yeah, I think it's almost at this point just a routine of if you're doing something behind the scenes of, oh, maybe I will go to Michigan or maybe I am looking at this job, you're going to get asked about it, and the immediate answer is nope, never. You can't come out and say, oh, you know, we're in talks. We're you know, seeing how things go from here. You have to shut it down immediately in public and deal with the repercussions afterwards of someone saying, oh, you're a liar, you're a fraud, you're all this. So Kalen DeBoer can say that he's staying at Alabama. Kenny Dillingham can say he's staying at Arizona State. All of these people can say that, you know, oh, we're not going anywhere. Jed Fish can say I'm Washington till I die. I don't believe any of it until the next season starts. And that's no offense to any one of those guys, but it's just the way the business works.
I mean, I view it, honestly, no different than a head coach getting up in front of a microphone and he's asked about his job security, and he talks about, I plan on being here for a long time, and I've had no reason as to why I should worry about my head coaching job, only for them to be fired 2 weeks later. Like, you have to say what you have to say in front of a microphone because you're controlling a program, you're leading players, you're leading a staff. You have to do all the right things. And I'm not sitting here saying that Kalen DeBoer or Kenny Dillingham is a liar and that they're lying through their teeth right now about all of this. But I'm just saying, like, none of it matters to me what you say in front of a microphone until that position is filled.
I tweeted today, I'll never be in these positions, by the way, but if I ever were, if I were the head football coach at a program like Alabama and there were job opportunities like this coming available, I would just straight up say, I'm the Alabama head football coach. I'll be here next year. All intents and purposes, I'm here. And then if I'm not, they're going to hate me anyways.
Exactly.
Like, if you leave Alabama and go to Michigan, they're going to hate your guts no matter what. They're going to call you a coward. They're going to call all kinds of things. The last thing you got to be worried about is whether or not they call you a liar. They're going to be dragging your name through the mud no matter what. All right? I felt like Lane should have done. I feel like Lane, if he'd have just kept his mouth shut and just been quiet and been like, yeah, there are jobs available, but I'm right here where my feet are, he might still be coaching Ole Miss and that LSU job might still be open. I might be crazy for thinking that. I might be absolutely insane. But I do think there are right ways to handle this. I think DeBoer's as close as you can get to being in the right stance. But here's where I think he was wrong today. He should have just straight up said, yep, I'm here. I'm going to be here. Instead, he went through this minute and a half dance around answer, so proud of the way the kids have, ignored the distractions. He danced around it so much that the very next question was like, hey, seriously, coach, straightforward. You going to be here next year? And then he was like, yeah, I'm going to be here next year. Yes, I'm going to be. Yeah, coach, that's what we needed. That's all we needed, all right? Instead, like, I had to delete a tweet today because he gets taken kind of out of context, dancing around the question, and then the next question is verbatim, you going to be here? Yeah, I'm going to be here. That should have been the soundbite getting put out on social media.
Right.
Instead, the soundbite getting put out on social media is hee-hawing, dancing around. I like where I'm at. I'm happy. I released a statement. Why y'all asking me about this? Well, Coach, you haven't signed the extension. By the way, Michigan people to this very point right now, 8:49 p.m., are still going on Alabama radio as hits saying, bro, he's still up for the job. He can say whatever he wants. We're still interviewing him.
Right.
We're still talking to his agent. He is still very much up for this job. Now, my question is, why in the hell would you ever take this job? Right now. Why would you ever take this football job? If you're Kenny Dillingham, I know Arizona State and you love that place, and I know this is a top 10 job. But why in the hell does Ward Manuel, why is he still your boss?
Yeah.
If you take this job, your boss is likely to be fired within the next 12 months. I would not be taking this job. And I know it's a great job in a vacuum. But we are not in a vacuum except for the ones left on Connor Stallion's front desk or front porch. We are not in a vacuum.
Tell them.
It is, and this is where I think we get so construed with the top 10 job. The Michigan Wolverines job is a top 10 job when things are going smoothly at Michigan. That organization is a dumpster fire right now that I would want no part of. Like you just said, the AD has been doing some shady stuff the last 3 years. There's been scandal after scandal. There's a stain on the Michigan reputation that, frankly, I wouldn't want to touch it as a candidate for this job. So it's not a top 10 job in my opinion. Now, when it reaches its potential, absolutely no doubt it's a top 10 job. But right now, no.
I mean, the university is being investigated right now. Like, you're walking into that. So it's great that Michigan people can get in front of everybody and say, we have no issue spending top dollar for whoever we want to hire next. Yeah, that's great. You could throw a bunch of money at anybody that you want, but boy, whoever takes that job, you're walking into a whole mess that you didn't even create. That isn't even yours, but you have to now own that because you're the guy with the logo on your chest representing that program.
I texted a pretty high up Michigan representative, not representative, but I mean, this guy rocks the Block M. Like, this guy loves Michigan. And the response I have right now is essentially, right now they have no president, maybe an athletic director, and politics in the Board of Regents that would make your head spin. it's not an ideal job, right?
No.
Like, it's a great job opportunity, but there's a difference. I mean, some of these guys have, like, legit jobs right now. Like, the only reason DeBoer would ever leave that place is because things got so hot at Alabama. And that's what y'all want. Y'all want a football coach that, like, got not ran out, but, like, chose to leave a place like Alabama where for 2 straight years he lost 3 games. I think DeBoer's a great football coach. I think he is. But the idea that this is now the second fan base, or the second time in a row, that Michigan fans have sat there hoping that their potential candidate loses a game. They did this in the who was hoping he lost the Auburn game? Who was that? What coaching job was that? Isn't that another one that he was open for?
I can't quite recall which one that was.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Bro, we were sitting there at the Iron Bowl going, if he loses this one, he might be out. Going so-and-so. Wasn't there another job?
Yes.
Am I losing my mind?
No, you're not losing your mind. It wasn't
Michigan because he hadn't been fired yet.
I don't know I can't remember what job it was.
Either way.
Give me 20 seconds.
But I thought we were like, we've been doing this. That's another thing about him. Penn State, that's what it was.
That's what
Great
it
job,
was.
chat.
Oh, yeah.
Great job, chat.
Thank you.
Great job, chat. Isn't that weird about him? That everybody's just wanting him out? I think, I don't know.
I mean, it's one of the funniest things about sports is you can look at a fan base and they're like, we don't really care for this guy, whatever. Like, I think he's doing an okay job. And everybody else around is like, we want that guy. We want that guy to be our head coach. We love this guy.
All right, let's move on to actual football. Army and Navy played this weekend. Hall of Fame uniform matchup.
Man.
Hall of Fame unis. The ships on the Navy helmet. Oh, God, those are so pure.
That
It's the
is
first brown helmet I've liked.
Yeah. That is one of my unironically favorite college football games to watch every year because it takes up the whole day. And I know there are bowl games on later that evening. It's at a perfect time of the year where it's like that last little bit of, okay, we're about to start the Christmas season. We're about to really get rolling in the bowl season. The regular season's done. The conference championships are over. There's not really football, and it's just that game. And it always feels like it's so prestigious.
You know who doesn't love the troops?
Who's that?
I should do that. Kirk Herbstreit forgot there was college football
He
this
sure
weekend.
did.
Oh.
He sure did.
Did y'all see this?
No,
I did.
Kirk.
The disrespect to the troops, Kirk. How dare you? How dare you? First and foremost, thank you for your service. There was college football this weekend. Some would say the best college football this weekend between Army and Navy.
The most pure existence of college football that remains,
Facts.
for sure.
It is.
Those guys love ball.
It is college football
And they
at its
love
purest form.
the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
God, what a game, too. The ending to
Down
that.
to the wire.
Mm.
Good foosball game.
Army threw it away, but
Those crispy white unis, though.
They threw?
Ooh.
they literally threw an interception
They
to lose the
literally
game.
threw it away.
Man,
Yeah. I don't know if y'all know this, but coming from behind in a triple option offense,
really hard to do.
kind of hard.
Yeah.
They were leading.
What do we do now?
They were up
We
16.
don't have a playbook for
they
this.
were up 16-7 and lost.
But even the got to come back from one score in the fourth, not happening.
Yeah.
Not
No,
happening.
I mean Navy just sat on the ball.
Yeah, that sucks. All right. Should we get into round one previews?
Let's do it.
Let's
Yeah,
do
we have
it.
some big football
We got
games.
actual football to talk about now with, 55 minutes into the show. Spoiler alert, this one's carrying over into the local hour. Bama at Oklahoma, the first playoff game of the 2025 schedule. I talked about this a little bit earlier. I really do wonder how much home field advantage is going to impact the pass rush for Oklahoma. That Bama offensive line has had plenty of problems already up to this point with regards to protecting their quarterback. I also wonder if R. Mason Thomas will be back for this one. I think he's their best football player.
Yeah.
That's the main things I'm looking at just pre-game, like going up into this one. All right, just how loud is the home field environment in the first quarter, and just how much availability do we have from R. Mason Thomas?
Now, this partially has to do with the fact that 2 of these games feature a G5 opponent, but also like this is the one game this weekend where I'm like, I really have no idea which
None.
way I want to feel going into this.
I feel this
one.
way about Miami A&M as well.
You do?
I do. I don't know which way I'm leaning there.
I'm not just
and we're going to talk about it. I think one team has a significant advantage at the line of scrimmage. I think one team has a significant advantage everywhere else.
Yeah.
In that Miami A&M game.
This game interests me greatly because it was such a unique result the last time these two teams met. Let's remember, Alabama had a missed field goal, a pick six, a fumble that led to a touchdown, and I believe another fumble that led to a touchdown. They basically gave Oklahoma 20 points in a game they lost by 3. So for as much as Oklahoma's defense shut down the offense and really put them in a box, Oklahoma's offense is also just as much of a dead fish.
But it's what Oklahoma does.
Yeah, I was about to say, Kirby, you just described how Oklahoma won their last month of football games.
Oh,
yeah.
1,000%. And that's why it's interesting because it could happen again, but it also feels like a game that had that much of a swing in it, of those kind of just hectic, where the hell did that come from type plays. But I'm interested in this.
Like, let's put it this way. So, like, we just watched, or 2 weeks ago, we watched Georgia-Alabama face off, and Georgia's defense just absolutely dominated Alabama's offense. I mean, there was no run game. Passing game really wasn't there. Ty Simpson wasn't clicking, all of those things. Neutral site environment. Now you're telling me that they're going to go play on the road at Oklahoma, and an Oklahoma defense that did very similar things to them the first time. Like, who's to say that? Now, Georgia won that game 28-7. Who's to say Oklahoma wouldn't have won that game 14-7? You know, like, who's to say they don't block a punt? Who's to say that they don't get the interception and they get 14 points there and that's it? Like, like, that's the conflicting thing I have with this game. That's all I'm saying.
Like, there's 1,000% the possibility that this time around it plays out like the BYU Texas Tech game where we finish it and we go, that was the same game we watched the first time these two teams watched. But when you have that many hectic plays, history just tells me that you don't always get them. The Georgia-Texas game, the first time they met in 2024, had, I think, a total of like 6 turnovers. The last one in the SEC Championship was not nearly as hectic. There were plays, but it wasn't as many. So it's always interesting for me.
It also should be noted that this Oklahoma defense has been great all year. They went, I think, the first 7 games without forcing a turnover.
Exactly.
So they've gone through these droughts where their turnover fairies like, y'all don't need any more help. Mm-hmm. And now it seems like they've gotten all of the help as of late with these. But the defensive performance has not changed.
No.
Alabama, we found out today Alabama is like one of the best teams in the country at forcing fumbles.
Yep.
That I don't think is going to change. I think they attack the football when they tackle. That's what they do. It's also why they miss tackles. But this turnover up and down from Oklahoma, that's the unpredictable thing about what are you going to get 3 of these? Are you going to shorten fields several times? All that good stuff. For me, guys, I think this game will boil down to several things. First and foremost, before I get into the factors, I do think it is important to see just how healthy Alabama is in this football game.
Sure.
They were a shell of themselves from a health standpoint in the SEC Championship game and really down the stretch in SEC play. They were a really banged-up offense particularly. So very curious to see Jam Miller, Josh Cuevas. Is Parker Brailsford back to himself? Do they have Cam Dewberry? A lot of people forget they were out there starting left guard in the SEC Championship game. But this game boils down to 3 things for me. 1, we already talked about it. Which defense can create turnovers in short fields, right? You got to. If your offense is going to put up enough points in this football game to win, you're going to have to help them out on both sides of this matchup. Which defense eliminates the run entirely? I'm talking about quarterback's got to beat us today, whether it's John Mateer running with his legs or beating you down the field with explosive passes, or Ty Simpson is going to put up 385 yards of total offense. Whichever offense gets made solely one-dimensional, that team will lose. And I'm telling you that, all right? And we saw this in the SEC Championship game. It wasn't just that Alabama couldn't run the ball. Guys, they had to give up on running the ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were so inefficient at doing so, they became an automatic passing football team midway through the second quarter. If that happens in this game, they are screwed. Mm-hmm. So that's a major one for me. And number 3, explosives. I don't expect either of these offenses to be consistent moving the football. I do not expect these offenses to be churning out 12-play scoring drives multiple times over. All right, so you got to flip the field. You got to have an opportunity, boom, 45-yard explosive. We're automatically in field goal range. We can just go ahead and protect the kick. Whichever football team can do that the most will probably win this game.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that.
It would be a fun game to go to, though. I know we're not going to be able to go to that one, but I would love to go to that one.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one day we're at a Friday night SEC matchup in a first round playoff game, and then we go up next to another one. Would be awesome.
If you do want to go to this game, there's a much easier and more efficient way to do so. If you head over to our friends over at SeatGeek, they are one of the #1 rated ticketing apps in the world. They have over 70,000 events. That's not just college football games. That's concerts, festivals, you name it, they've got it. We love using SeatGeek. We use it any time that we are out there using leisurely events and we're not getting credentialed. So it's typically me. They've got your back for everything. They have deal ratings on a scale of 1 to 10, which means they rate from good to bad. Green dot means it's a good deal. Red dot means you probably want to stay away. And every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. Woo! We have a code for you to use as well. We're not just hyping them up. We're actually here to help y'all. If you use FilmGuy10, you get 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That is 10% off any set of tickets using code FilmGuy10. Thank you to our friends over at SeatGeek.
Shout out to SeatGeek. Shout out to all of our sponsors this year. It's been an incredible year here on this platform. Let me check something right quick, boys. Before we started the stream, we're about 60 subscribers away from 90K. We'll get there before the end of the night. I have a feeling. That'd be cool. Hit 90K midstream. That'd be awesome. Cool. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribing if you have not already. I don't know how I'm going to pick that game.
I don't either. I genuinely don't.
No earthly idea.
That's going to be a gut feeling type one.
Now let's go to the game that we are going to. Miami Hurricanes on the road at the Texas A&M Aggies home, Kyle Field. All right, 11 a.m. local kick. I think we're in for one hell of a football game, boys.
I hope
I think we're in for a fourth quarter sweater.
What's Texas like in December?
I'll tell you. This is what I was going to say. Is you want to know what the best news is about this trip?
62 degrees.
We're getting pure football weather.
72 degrees.
No.
74.
That's not.
74.
First of all, premier football weather is 62 degrees, just warm enough where I might break a sweat, not cold enough where I have to have a layer outside.
But see, it's beneficial that it's this time of year that it's going to be 74 degrees.
50 to 70 degrees.
Okay, so I was 4 degrees away from it being pristine. But hey, it's December and we're going to be at a football game that's 74 degrees. We don't have much to complain about. All right,
boys. I watched A&M's offense today.
It's a fun one.
How'd that go?
They need Le'Veon Moss bad.
Oh,
desperately. They were not good enough at running back against Texas. There was a lot that cost them that football game, but in my opinion, the fact that I'm going to say 70 yards were left on tape at the running back position because we just can't stay on our feet. We just can't stay up. As soon as anyone gets near us as ball carrier, whether it's number 2, whether it's number 4, whether it's the quarterback, we like get way over our toes and we're like bracing for contact that's not quite near us and we just fall down. It's the craziest thing. And this is a football team, by the way, I think led the conference in rushing this year. Like they're a good running football team. They could not run the ball against Texas, and I felt like that's the reason they struggled offensively. I thought the offensive line struggled tremendously with crowd noise. I mean, they looked discombobulated wasn't even the word. They looked completely disconnected as an offensive line. It was incredible to see. I thought they struggled tremendously. No, he's not there. I asked Ben Woke, you at the Benz? Nah, not at the Benz. Might have to call him during the local hour. But I think this is their biggest test from a line of scrimmage standpoint that A&M's faced all year.
I mean, that's typically what you get when you play Miami. Like that will be your biggest test along the line of scrimmage.
Are there 5 NFL football players on the line of scrimmage from Miami?
Yeah, there's 5 draft picks.
3
very
offensive
easily.
linemen and 2 defensive linemen?
Very easily.
I mean, they're as good as it gets from a line of scrimmage standpoint. I think it's a massive test. But I do think A&M has the advantage everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, quarterback in this football game, who are you taking?
I'd take Marcel Reed.
Barely? All right.
I was
Both quarterbacks turn it over.
All right, let's go linebackers and DBs.
I like Torian York a lot.
I do too. I like A&M from that standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receiver weapons.
It's like
Malachi
Malachi Tony versus
Concepcion.
the field.
Yeah, Malachi Tony versus 2 of them.
Yeah.
Over there, they got 2 of those little guys that can get after us.
Yeah.
So I think A&M has an advantage, but this is a line of scrimmage sport.
Yep.
Especially this time of year. It's very, very interesting to see which way we go.
And
here.
this is and this is why I'm kind of conflicted heading into this game, because what I'm about to do to Miami, you kind of can do the same to Texas A&M, and I know that Texas A&M fans really don't like hearing this, but it's just kind of reality of when you look at the teams that they beat in the SEC and look at the teams that they didn't, it's everybody at the bottom, and then it's a team towards the top, and you took a loss towards a team to the top. But Miami's last 4 games were against Syracuse, NC State, Virginia Tech, and Pittsburgh. Now, Carson Beck did not turn the ball over during those games. I think he had 1 interception over that 4-game stretch. They look a whole lot better than they did when they lost to Louisville or when they lost to SMU. But this is a team that has kind of been granted a pretty easy path to the back end of their schedule, and now they got to go play a top 12 team on the road at Kyle Field, a team that has not traveled a whole lot this year. That scares me, but at the same time, I don't think you can really say that either of these teams are very battle-tested or haven't been in very many of these moments heading into this weekend. Other than, and I know Texas A&M played Notre Dame. That was a long time ago.
The thing that makes this game interesting for me is I feel like Texas A&M is a much better team at playing when things don't go right. You've got a quarterback that can make things happen with his legs. You've got enough playmakers elsewhere. If Miami's offense gets off schedule, Carson Beck's not a guy that's going to get you out of issues. In fact, if things aren't on schedule, Carson Beck tends to complete interceptions to the other team. That's my worry, in that if things can kind of go awry and Miami's defensive line does cause some havoc, there will be issues for Marcel Reed, but I think that will also have more explosives. If Texas A&M's defensive line is able to get after Carson Beck and they can't run the football, Miami's offense is going to have a long day. You look like you're reading something.
Okay, this is
I am reading something. Why are Texas starters hitting the portal?
Good question. I don't know. That's really weird.
Dude, DeAndre Moore Jr. just hit the portal.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. And they had the linebacker into the portal.
Lafau.
Yeah.
Now I get why. Maybe they think they got somebody. The young kid, 26, has been playing for them at linebacker. And we know Tyler Atkinson is going to be starting next year for them.
But losing Anthony Hill, and then now you're compiling that with
Lafau, and now DeAndre Moore Jr. That one's just weird.
Going back to this
news
game,
that's
though.
Talked about
No, for sure. Going back to this one, though, where do you think Texas A&M ranks for interceptions forced this year?
The question is misleading, so I'm going to assume down on the bottom.
They're probably pretty high up, I'd say.
They're second to last in the country.
Never mind,
They have forced 3 interceptions this year. Now, there could be multiple reasons for that. Maybe because they don't dedicate themselves to trying to really confuse the quarterback in the secondary. They're more havoc creating up front, but
I think it's more to do with the fact that every time I watch A&M, they're in bump and run outside.
yeah, that's man-to-man coverage a lot.
Of man-to-man. Hard to get interceptions when you're
Right.
a man-to-man football team.
Yep.
Right. So
Tips and overthrows.
perhaps Carson Beck won't be very turnover prone this weekend. Got to have those.
There you go.
I heard you. I just had to finish my point.
Boy, there's a specific coach that listens right now that is so happy we just hit it. He's like, yeah. It's like I'm being in the boardroom again. Tips and overthrows.
Non-football player got it.
Gotta have those. All right, let's be quick. G5 games. Tulane at Ole Miss. We're going to go back and watch the first matchup tomorrow. Lane and company tore them apart. 541 yards of total offense to just 282. The very interesting thing about this was Tulane rushed for like 178 yards in this football game and lost by 35 points. So here's my recipe. And tell me if this could happen. Tulane wins the kick, or wins the toss, defers the second half, gets a quick stop, or a stop, 7-minute drive, walks it, scores, 7-0. 6 minutes left in the first quarter. And then just continues to do that type of thing. By the way, this is what Wazoo did to him. Wazoo got into a close fourth quarter football game against a team they had no business being in one at Ole Miss this year. And that's what they did. If you go back and look at that box score, Wazoo took, I think, 20 fewer offensive snaps, but won the time of possession by 7 minutes. That's what this has got to be. Like if you're gonna get out alive in this one, you have to control the clock, limit possessions, do all the stuff that teams that don't have a talent advantage do to win games like this.
I mean, Ole Miss is certainly gettable in the run game. So if you're a team
has been all year,
and if you're a team like Tulane where you feel like you're a little outmatched everywhere else, that might be a path that you need to take. Like that might be the reality of it, in my opinion. So perhaps that is what they need to do in this matchup, is not to say like, oh, just keep it close because that's why we're here. No, but like legitimately, if this is how they're going to play, the best thing that you can do is keep that offense off the field. That's the best case scenario for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree that it's going to be also interesting to see what this offense looks like without Lane Kiffin, and if you can take any advantages of that anywhere.
Does Chambliss become like an automatic scrambler now that he doesn't have the answers in his head before the snap?
Could be.
Like, do you expect Charlie Weiss Jr. in his first time being the full-time play caller is going to be pulling the headset down and telling the guy what he thinks?
I mean,
or is that something only Lane does?
I don't know.
And Hugh.
That's what I'm interested to figure out.
2 examples. One really good, one not so much.
Mm-hmm.
It was so funny watching. Oregon at JMU. Oregon rolls. Ducks on top.
Blows them
They
out.
better.
Hey, JMU's Twitter account been real funny, though.
Been fantastic.
Been fantastic.
This reminds me a lot of what TCU did up until that national championship, where like TCU Twitter was having a ball.
We knew what it was. All right, we know what it is. We have a whole nother hour coming up after the break. See you in a second.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back in to the Film Guy Network for what is set up to be a loaded local hour for you guys. Going to talk about the pros and cons for the upcoming Sugar Bowl. We've got things you need to be watching in the first round today as well. And we will be taking a quick look at the 2026 schedule for the University of Georgia. But let's start the local hour with the news. Over the weekend, Bo Walker and Donnie Glover were arrested for shoplifting out of the Walmart in Athens. So it's conflicting reports. There are reports that, Walmart turned them in for theft of 13 items. And then there's reports from sources that the story is that Donnie and Bo were going through the self-checkout line. They attempted to scan all of the items, and there was a scanning malfunction, and that explains the reason 2 SEC football players were reportedly attempting to steal 13 items. I don't know what we talk about here. I don't know where we go with this. I don't even know what to do here other than say kind of dumb, kind of not a big deal, I think. Is that fair to say?
Best way I think you can put it is that from both sides, there's information that doesn't make sense. That comes from both sides. That comes from the player side. That comes from the company side. All of it. Like, there's just things that don't make sense, which makes me want to not comment on it.
13 items, EBT card. There's a lot here that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Correct.
Things that don't add up.
It's all a very, very interesting story. I think that the people that come away with this from, here go the Georgia players again causing trouble and culture issue, Kirby Smart can't, blah, 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 blah. There's also people coming away from the Athens-Clarke County Police Department has it out for Georgia players. This is another nothing.
I do want to nix that.
Yeah.
This is Walmart that pressed these charges.
Right.
Yes.
This has nothing to do. This is the police department showing up and doing what they are required to do.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying this is the narratives that are being spun one way or another. I don't understand how you can look at the information and go, oh, this is clearly this or this is clearly that. Like, it is a very cloudy and very weird situation that honestly, I don't know if you're ever going to get an answer on. I think that.
Well, if we get video surveillance, we will.
Yeah. But I also don't think, like, there's a lot of these stories that happen around sports where it's like, oh, this is an interesting story, and then 2 months later, no one even remembers that it happened. This very much could be that for me. Again, I don't have enough information. If you're stealing things from Walmart, don't do that. You're stupid if you do. Other than that, I don't know what the exact details are.
My entire point on all of this is, like, if you just read chat right now, there's conflicting information from everybody in chat right now on this story, which makes me, again, like, I just don't want to comment about it because it feels like there's not enough information to, like, create any sort of concise statement that really resolves everything.
Yeah, I will tell you this, listener, viewer, anyone, don't jump to a conclusion based on the information you have. Of, oh, they weren't stealing. Oh, they were stealing. Oh, yada. Like, just wait for all the information on this one to come out because it's such a weird story.
Even the police report on it that I read today from Mark Weiser's reporting was like, even the police officer sounded very confused on what the hell happened in his report. This quote right here was really, really weird. Quote, they must have lost track of what items have been scanned between the two, the report states. Loss prevention took inventory of the recovered merchandise and decided to press charges for shoplifting based on the total amount that Dontrell and Bowden, Walker's full first name, attempted to walk out of the store with, approximately $100. The amount of Febreze that was purchased was crazy.
That was
But they smell good.
I bet the apartment smells delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. We're good there. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Just a dumb headline to be dragged into. Not as dumb as trying to create your own GTA chase to save mama from a ticket, but
Yeah.
it's gotten dumber. It has definitely gotten dumber around these parts in the last 2 months or so. Whew. Real spin. Play Arkansas first SEC game.
The deep state. Walmart deep state.
Walmart deep state?
The Walmart.
God
deep
forbid they
state.
have some Tyson nuggets.
Hey,
in that
you know
cart.
Georgia has their beef with Arkansas right now because of Silverfield. Arkansas was like, we got to drum up some of our own.
Double down.
Come on now.
Love it.
Taking our NIL money from
Go ahead and
us.
put the hat on.
Yeah, that is a tinfoil hat theory.
Let's move on, shall we?
Let's
Oh,
do
yeah.
that.
Make sure you hit that
please.
thumbs up button. 5 things we are watching in the first round of the college football playoff. I got 5. You want them 1 through 5 or 5 through 1, Jonathan?
1 through 5.
All right, let's do it. 1 through 5. Number 5. Does Chambliss become more of a runner without the known passing answers? We just got done talking about this in the National Hour. I think it's a real possibility. I think it's a real possibility that we get to the top of our drop, and for the first 13 games of our career as an Ole Miss Rebel, first 12 games of our career as an Ole Miss Rebel, really only started 10 of them. First 10 or 11 games of our starting career, we've had the answers in our head right as the ball is about to be snapped. Well, what if we don't this week? What do we look like? Do we become an automatic pull the ball down, take off with our legs kind of guy? And if so, how dangerous are we? This guy's a really good ball carrier, man. He's really electric when he pulls it down. Number 4, does Alabama look any different offensively, or are they officially broken? Is this just who they are? Are they going to be a mediocre offense that has to survive off the quarterback being miraculous the rest of the way, or were they just really, really banged up in that first match or that last matchup in the SEC championship game? Number 3, does Tulane have enough at all to make things interesting between them and Ole Miss? Or is it another drumming like the last time they played? Do we get another Spider-Man meme matchup between these two football teams? Is it the same route that it happened in the first round? Number 2, and this one won't matter until you get past the Sugar Bowl football game, but I'll be paying attention to it, especially because we'll be there in person. Does either A&M or Miami look like a machine? Do they look dominant? You know, there's a lot of people looking at what happened to Ohio State last year and saying, why not A&M? You know, went undefeated until that football game, and then, oh, crap, you lost one to a rival, maybe played bad, maybe got pissed off, and went on to make a massive run in the college football playoff. Possibility. Miami, do you feel like you got a chip on your shoulder? Do you feel like you got to go out here and prove that you are worthy of this college football nomination? You had something you want to chime in there?
I think that this could also be one of those games where if it does result in a blowout, it'll be, yeah, the other team was overrated. Miami should have never been in the playoff. Look at all the teams Texas A&M beat. They were never actually that good.
Confirmation bias.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where it's going. I don't know if either one of these teams wins by 20 points, we're going to walk away going, oh, that's a title contender. I think we're going to say the team that lost wasn't actually as good as we thought they were coming into it.
Number 1, what does Ole Miss's offense look like without Lane? I talked about it from a quarterback standpoint. What does the offense as a whole look like now without Lane?
Yeah, and I think that's not even just the most pressing question for Georgia fans right now, because not to do the thing, but it looks like you're going to be rematching them in the Sugar Bowl if Vegas is correct.
Roll MF and wave, Christian Kirby.
Look, I'm just saying if Vegas is right on this one, you'll be playing Ole Miss. But that's the biggest question in all of the playoff, I think. What does this Ole Miss team look like without Lane Kiffin? Because we know Lane Kiffin is the offensive mastermind. We said this Ole Miss team was very, very good this year. The fact that they went 11-1 is extremely impressive. If the guy that was calling the plays and the machine that made it all work and run smoothly is no longer there, and he had that much of an effect, we're going to get an answer very quickly as to how much. And on the inverse of that, if this roster is so fired up and feels so betrayed by this, do they come together and are they playing better football because of that? Where it's like, you know what, F the head coach, we're going to be a team now. You call him Mr. Woke?
Dude, I'm curious. I got a call for firsthand experience. What are the vibes like down there at the Benz?
I'd have to check in with Rivals and On 3.
Wait a minute. They didn't give Ben Woke credentials?
No, believe it or not, 24. Well, Dogs 24/7 didn't make the cut. Bama 24/7 on the other hand made the cut.
Oh
no!
Oh.
It's I'll work my way up in the world someday.
Well, here's the deal, Woke. If you need any entertainment tonight, the Film God Network is live for another 35 minutes. I love you, Bob. Whoa.
I'd like to ask a question.
A question for Ben Woke from Dr. J. Will. What do you got?
Ben, 4th and 3 on your own end, 8 minutes left in the game. Do you punt the football?
Great question.
I think you gotta punt the football. You got all 3 timeouts. You got 8 minutes left. You've been getting stops the whole second half. I think you gotta punt the football.
I think you're probably right. Thank you.
I think you're both cowards and should take the Michigan job.
And I'll also say, situation, you're wrong either way, so it doesn't really matter.
Love you, Woke. Hey, gotta stay woke.
Amen.
Gotta stay woke.
Amen.
Dude, Bama 24/7.
That's crazy. That is
Bama
wild.
24/7 getting credentialed over my boy Ben Woke. That's crazy.
That's dirty.
I can't believe you got to sit next to him in the SEC championship game. I was bummed to not go to that game. I was like, you know what, that'd be a really cool opportunity.
Bad enough.
But when he said, "Oh yeah," because we were texting throughout the game, he goes, "Oh yeah, Ben Woke just said this." I said, "Wait, are you sitting next to him?" He goes, "Yeah, dude." Ruined my day. Georgia winning by 21 points didn't even touch that. I was pissed off for the rest of the evening. So I'm sorry I didn't get to sit with you, Ben Woke, because
Ben Woke is that guy.
he's a good time, man. I love him.
Good guy.
Love that guy. Who's got top fives?
I have top fives.
Okay.
You were just talking about Ole Miss's offense. That was my number one. Like, what do they look like? What's the whole construction of that? Number 2, the health of Alabama. On top of that, can Ty Simpson get back on track? Because there was a 4-game stretch where Ty Simpson was that guy. I mean, he was the guy that could lead this offense every single week against SEC opponents and pull out wins no matter what the rest of the offense looked like. Can he do that? Because that's what's going to require, again, is a 4-game stretch of Ty Simpson being exactly that for that offense. If he does that, then they very well could be in a national title because that defense is playing well. So what does that look like against another really good SEC defense? Speaking of that, what does Oklahoma's offensive prowess look like in this game? Because
prowess.
You want to talk about how unpredictable that game is for me? That's John Mateer. John Mateer is unpredictable outside of the fact of there's going to be a few throws where it's like, ooh, didn't like that, and a couple it's like, holy cow, I might put all of my NFL draft stock in this guy next year. So what does it look like? Is there any type of run game resolution there with Mateer and the mixture of their running backs? What all plays out there? Texas A&M, this is going to be back-to-back opponents that they're going to play that are playoff caliber or playoff good, I should say. Haven't seen that from them the entire year where they've had to go back-to-back weeks of playing a top 15 ranked team. They're going to have to do that this time, and they're going to have to do it against Miami. And then to top it all off, number 5 for me, Miami's run game. That's going to be the biggest thing for me about the Hurricanes and their success in the playoff run is how great can their run game be? Because when your run game is good with Carson Beck, the rest of the offense is going to be good. But if teams are able to shut down this run game and they're able to make you one-dimensional, it's going to put them in a corner.
Yeah, you guys touched on 2 of them with Bama's offense. What does that look like when they have, players back? They've got some time off. Is it going to be any better than what we've seen the last few weeks? And then obviously the pressing question for everyone's going to be Ole Miss and this, Lane Kiffin, no coaching turmoil, all the dramatics. What does that roster look like now that all the dust is settled on it? But there's 3 other things I think that we're going to look out for, and it's going to be very telling for what the rest of this tournament looks like. The first one is which of these teams are just happy to be there? Which of these teams said, oh, we saw our name on selection day. We are fine. We throw the streamers. We're fine. We're not even worried about playing the next game. You're going to get some of those. I think we all are kind of, assuming that JMU is going to be one of those.
I was about to say, JMU was the only school that threw the streamers.
But even last year, we had, Indiana was this
direct
last
shot.
Indiana felt like this last year where it was like, oh, we're Indiana and we just made a college football playoff the first time it was at 12. That's fine with us. And they came out kind of flat against Notre Dame, stuff like that. Which of these teams this year, is it going to be Oklahoma where it's, hey, we've kind of exceeded expectations? Is it going to be Ole Miss? Like, who is going to be the teams that's just happy to be there? And on the adverse of that, who builds the most momentum? Because if we watch back in retrospect and with hindsight of that first round, seeing what Notre Dame did to Indiana, seeing what Ohio State did to Tennessee, seeing what some of those teams where it's like, oh, they've got a lot of momentum going out this game, or they had a really strong performance, they parlayed that into ones. You're going to see who can build momentum here. I think that's going to be a major cast. And then the one thing that I think if you're a Georgia fan, you will be paying attention to what this looks like is what does Carson Beck look like in the playoff? This is Carson Beck's first career start in the college football playoff, and it's not with the Georgia Bulldogs. That feels weird to say, but you know as a Georgia fan you're going to be hate watching this one. And it's honestly a legitimate question because there is an opportunity that your paths cross before you guys get to the national title. So what does Carson Beck look like against Texas A&M?
By the way, DeAndre Moore headed to the draft, it looks like. Not a transfer portal entry.
On SI.com reported transfer portal.
This one says sources tell On Texas Football that Longhorns wide receiver DeAndre Moore is expected to declare for the NFL draft. I'm seeing a bunch of stuff that says he's not returning to Texas.
Yeah.
Now it looks like he's headed to the draft.
Okay. That would be a much more reasonable decision.
For sure.
From a former 4-star prospect that's been a major portion of their offense last
Absolutely.
years. Either way, a guy that I would assume they might have forecasted onto their roster next year that is no
Potentially.
longer going to be there. I want to know if this video footage of this has actually been released, and if so, why is it not on? Like, why is not everyone posting the social or the video of this that acquits these two young men from this?
Yeah, again.
So I see a lot of people like, oh, we need some apology tweets, dude. We'll tweet a charges or drop article the moment it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, anyways, pros and cons.
Let's do it.
Pros and cons list of the Sugar Bowl. Pros of playing Ole Miss, cons of playing Ole Miss, pros of playing Tulane, cons of playing Tulane. Let's start with pros of playing Tulane. It's Tulane.
I literally put that in my notes.
I don't know if Tulane has a single player on their roster that could play for Georgia.
That is a
that
fair
safe?
assessment. The talent
I
advantage.
haven't grinded a lot of green wave tape this year.
Like, I would say, like, the only one where it's like there's a world where that happens, Retzclaff.
No.
Like, there's no world.
No. Nope. I don't think that kid would start at Georgia. Not right now. Maybe.
Oh, not right now.
Not
right
next
now.
year.
I was just saying, like, there might be a world that exists where
Like a simulation.
An alternate
Yeah.
reality, if you will.
Maybe.
there's another dimension where
Okay.
Retzclaff is a starting quarterback.
Cons of playing Tulane. It's Tulane.
Well, I've got some. I've got some
Is that a
pros.
con?
It's Tulane.
Well, I've got some pros too that we got to talk about.
Buddy, you think that one's going to be hyped up?
Who?
Georgia versus Tulane?
Ask me if I care how hyped up Georgia's playoff
I
game
know
is.
you don't care. I know.
Okay.
But watching a week and a half worth of Tulane tape, you're going to enjoy that.
Oh, you dang right I will.
Okay. All right. Well,
You dang right.
look,
Hey,
look, you can't call me a hater, a G5 elitist, or whatever you want to call me. The old head coach knows that there's better opportunities elsewhere. So I'm just
here's what
that
I'll
was
say.
one of my pros.
I'm just saying.
Head coach fixated elsewhere. That's one of the pros
One
of
of
playing
my
Tulane.
pros is also Kirby Smart has never lost to a G5 team, and he's played one of them in a New Year's Six Bowl. But no, this isn't. We've got a slate full of SEC games, and it's, man, we got to get ready for Charlotte this week. This is, we're going to have 2 weeks of there has not been a single Georgia football preview to talk about. And now if it is, we get to talk about Tulane. Yeah, I'm going to eat that up. Sorry. Not worried about, it's not a prestigious matchup. Oh, man, we have to study a G5 team. We've had 2 weeks without anything. We get excited when spring day comes around, even though it is a glorified scrimmage where nothing happens because it is actual football. I've gone half a month without seeing the Georgia Bulldogs take the field. I'm excited, whoever it will be. So it's not a con to me. Just had to put that out there.
Now, from a content standpoint, that's a con. But we're talking about Georgia versus whoever. There's no con. Con is not. It's Tulane.
Any day the Dogs get to play is a good day.
Hey, dogs on top. Guys, I'm with you. I'm with you.
What about Ole Miss? What would you say? The
Pros
and
of playing
cons?
Ole Miss. You've already played them.
Yep.
They don't have a head coach.
Yep.
They have a really porous run defense.
Yep.
You have a really good track record this year against the same unit twice.
Yep.
I would count Georgia Tech as that.
Yeah.
That's the same unit. Same quarterback, same offensive coordinator, same unit. Think you got a great track record this year against those. And the other one, I think you're a much better man-to-man football team than you were at this point in the year.
Yeah, that was one of mine. Like, this team has
You're a
gotten
really good man-to-man football team
exponentially
now.
better on defense since you've played them. Obviously, the first half was a disaster. The first 3 quarters, honestly, were a disaster. Another thing that I think is going overlooked here, you had arguably your best offensive performance of the season. I mean, Darren, it was your best offensive performance of the season. You were perfect. Every time you touched the football, you scored. So that is a pro going into this, because even if Ole Miss's defense plays better, even if they make some more plays, you'd have to imagine you're in a fairly good spot to score points, and you have to trust Mike, Bobo, and Gunnar Stockton to get you there. So those are pros for me. Obviously, Lane Kiffin not being there as a pro. You've beaten them before as once again a pro. There's a familiarity there. There's kind of a confidence. It being at a neutral site doesn't necessarily play into your favor, but I don't think that's a negative. So,
Yeah, I mean, you guys hit all of them. I had no Lane Kiffin. You already beat them. Kirby Smart does well in rematches. That's just his history as a head coach. He does really well in rematches. I think teams are averaging 7 points per game or less in rematches. Not to say that Ole Miss would only put up a touchdown or fewer against Georgia in a rematch, but defense certainly plays better, and the defense as a whole is certainly more polished than they were the first time around these two teams faced off.
Cons of playing Ole Miss. Unpredictability
Yep.
if they get by Tulane with ease. If they dog walk Tulane like they did the first round, we're not really going to get a full understanding of what this quote-unquote new identity offensively is for them, who they are in the criticals. We won't really know about that if they get through this. Okay. I'm texting sources right now.
Okay.
about the situation?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Further texting from earlier today. Where are we at? Cons of playing them. Are they pissed off and ready to prove the world wrong?
That was what I was, and I'm glad.
Is that a possibility?
I'm glad you touched on this, because this could have absolutely been the event that centers that roster and gets them to play together as a team. Because we heard player reports say that, we've heard insiders say that since Lane, and this could also just be the thing of, we don't need you. Since Lane Kiffin left, apparently practices have been more organized, players have been more intentional. All of those things have been, hey, this roster's more together than ever. This is the event that's brought us all together. That doesn't necessarily excite you if you're a Georgia fan. When the head coach leaves, you want to expect a team to get worse, not better, not believe in themselves more. So this could very well be a con. We don't know yet, though, because it could also be an absolute pro that, our head coach left, no one really believes us, or whatever, and they go out and lose to Tulane, or they look flat. So it's a pro and a con right now.
I think another con is they might be fresh coming into the game against you, because if they do indeed just beat the crap out of Tulane, they might get the opportunity to rest up some of their guys. And this is a team that didn't play in conference championship weekend. They didn't play this past weekend. They'll play this weekend, and they'll get another week off, and then they'll go play Georgia. Now, Georgia will get some time off too, but I'm talking about a team that may pretty much get an entire month off before playing you. And if you really want to get down to the nitty-gritty, they played on Friday. They didn't play on Saturday, so that's even more time off. So that could be another con of playing them. Then also the other one that I put is you got out by the skin of your teeth last time. Like you had to come back down from a deficit, and then you ended up having 2 big stops on defense and had some clutch plays from the offense, more specifically Gunnar Stockton going 12 for 12 in that time span as well. So
do you think you just come out and play 2-man the whole game?
I would certainly start that way, knowing that you may not know exactly what you're going to get from them. Just let's see.
Just man them up.
Let's
put
see if
2
our
deep,
guys can beat their guys.
see what we got.
I think another con of this game is that outside of Tennessee, this is the team that scored the most points on you all season. Now, we all agree that this defense has changed drastically since both of those games, but there is something in the back of your head that goes, oh, great, the team that went 5 for 5 in its first 5 drives for touchdowns is coming to play us in a neutral site now. Ooh, again, things have changed exponentially. We just saw a team that went 9 for 9 their first 3rd down attempts get, 2 for 14? So things change, but it also doesn't make you feel great. And by the way, playing an SEC team in the college football playoff setting is never a preference. You would much rather come across a G5 team or, the second best Big 12 team or an ACC team. So I think that's a con as well, where it's like, oh, cool, we have to play an SEC team in the playoffs now.
We good on pros and cons?
Believe so.
All right, let's move on. Quick shout out to Brett Thorson.
Yeah, despite having a game where he didn't have a single punt, he is the Ray Guy Award winner and an All-American.
On this channel several months ago, I think it was brought up right around when Haran Zurakat, I think I'm butchering that last
I don't know how to say it either, so.
Right when the punter committed to Georgia, I think it was a topic of discussion on this channel of why do punters come to Georgia?
Yeah, I asked this.
What are you doing?
Which, by the way, he's a kicker.
Either way, why are specialists coming to this place? They don't punt the ball that often.
Mm-hmm.
They don't kick a lot of field goals, even though Peyton's been great. This is why. Because statistically, I can almost guarantee you right now, Brett Thorson is not the best punter in college football.
No, I am
I just go ahead and tell you
certain
that.
of that.
Off the top of my head, I can tell you right now. Hell, I would venture to say he's not even in the top 5. Okay?
Statistically, probably not.
I would argue Brett Thorson's had the worst year of his career this year. He's fresh off of a knee injury. But he's a Georgia punter. And how many punters can you name, chat? Go ahead. And by the way, I'm a media guy. I study these rosters as much as or better than anybody that does this job. I can't name 5 punters. Well, I don't give a damn about special teams, but I can't name them. And I can guarantee you the people voting on this crap don't know them either. You know what I mean? So they're just like, oh, hey, I heard the Aussie kid from Georgia's pretty good. Bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's he at, by the way?
Now, this you do have to take into consideration that this is all not Brett Thorson's doing.
It's net punting.
You have to remember that Drew Miller was also starting punter for the first few weeks because Thorson was rehabbing from an ACL injury.
Even better.
That's right.
So
he
he
played
even
9
missed
games this year.
He even missed a few games. But Georgia's 23rd for average yardage per punt.
23rd.
23rd.
That's why you go to Georgia.
It's a brand thing, man.
Yeah. So.
And I think
there's
also, he did himself a ton of favors in 2022 with that 75-yard punt.
Oh, dude, didn't he go the first year and a half without allowing a return yard?
It was a record-setting number.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It goes back to what I'm talking about.
I think it ended against.
This kid's had way better seasons than this year.
I think it ended against Mississippi State because they were trying to punt for a touchdown. Yeah. But anyway,
No, it ended against Tennessee because he made the tackle.
But Mississippi State was in 2022. The Tennessee tackle was in 2024.
Yeah. Sorry.
You mean the Texas tackle?
No, the Texas tackle occurred before the Tennessee tackle. Tennessee of 2024, where he tackled Boo Carter, and then he tore his ACL in the SEC championship.
I don't remember punts.
Yeah, dude, I remember every single tackle Brett Thorson has made because I love special teams.
And on top of that, even Bo Gardner, the long snapper, nationally recognized for his doing as well.
That dude is huge, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
My God, is that guy big?
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 dots over here.
Brett Thorson wears camo joggers, in case you guys are wondering.
I definitely was not.
Just look.
Definitely was not wondering. Are they are you talking about joggers or under, tight? I wear them under my shorts to keep me warm.
No, like joggers.
It's a brand that I have, or a style choice that I haven't ventured into.
So Brett Thorson.
Every time I think of Brett Thorson, I think of his routine he has on the sideline before he goes out there and thinks about punting. Let it fly. Let it fly. Let it fly. He sits there and tosses the football up to himself and speaks, let it fly, in Australian. I also think about
Isn't Australian just English?
Whatever. In that Aussie accent. I also think about when the Tennessee field goal kicker missed this year, being in the back of that press conference availability. And if you're in the back of press conferences post-game, normally you stand by Mary Beth Smart.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I overheard a conversation, her telling her kids that she was standing next to Brett when he missed it.
No.
He's like, he missed it right. He missed it right. He missed it right.
Dude.
I thought you were going to say that he said something else, knowing Brett
A C
Thorson.
word? No.
Yeah.
No, he did not.
I hope he did.
She was speaking to her children, so maybe she, you know.
Get the
Got
PG
Get
rated
the PG version.
got to be a top 5 hang on that roster right now, dude.
Ooh, this would be a good game.
Him, Nate Frazier,
Kristen Miller.
yes. Gunner, just because I'm curious.
I bet KJ Bolden is a riot.
KJ Bolden probably
so.
is fun.
Who'd be the last?
Yeah,
draft
you know what?
pick?
This is an off-season list.
Gunner Stocks is a vibe guy.
I would want to hang out with Gunner Stockton just to see.
Yeah.
Just like what do you?
What are
actually
you like in the wild?
What do you actually like
What do you like in the wild?
in the wild? No,
do you
this
like
is
in the
this
wild?
is an off-season list. We'll save that one in the back pocket.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out to Thorson, man. It's big time.
Big time,
award.
man.
Ray Guy Award. Is he drafted?
Yeah,
It might be.
they always
might be.
there's always that one punter that goes in the 3rd or 4th round where it's like, oh, okay, you guys,
I wasn't gonna say that.
you guys really need.
I was
a
gonna
punter.
say
Has he gone the entire career with one bad punt?
He's had a few. He's
had
had
a-
a few
yeah.
of
Couple
like.
of shankers?
he's had a
But
couple
again,
this year.
a bad punt at Georgia's like, oh damn, we didn't pin them inside the 25 now. I don't think there's ever been a Brett Thorson punt where it's like, oh, they're starting this drive on their own side of the 50.
Oh, it went 10 yards.
Shit. Yeah, like that never happened unless it's returned. So no, he has not had a bad punt. I mean,
Punters do get drafted. Hunter Lacey, Jake Camarda literally got drafted.
And then cut 3 years later.
Oh.
But yeah, did get drafted by
Did
the
get
Bucks.
drafted.
What, 4th round, right?
4th round.
Yeah, you got drafted.
Got drafted in the 4th round.
like I said, every year there's 1 or 2 NFL teams that just spur, hey, we need a punter in the 3rd or 4th round. It happens. It'll happen this year. It might not be Brett Thorson, but it will happen. But going on to this, it's another discussion of just how, and I don't mean to make this the special team show, for all the talks we talk about how important it is, Kirby Smart has had a pretty flawless career or a flawless record of getting the right guy at kicker and at punter, and it's paid dividends for their team. 45-yard field goals have never been anything you've been nervous about. Punts have never been, oh man, I hope he catches this punt, or I hope he doesn't shank it, or we really need to flip the field here. Like, it's been so automatic that you don't think of it, and you don't realize it.
Dude, Peyton Woodring's got like 75% of his misses in the first 4 field goal attempts of his career.
Yeah.
And he ain't even the quote-unquote GOAT to the common Georgia fan.
Yeah.
As a field goal kicker.
Statistically, he might end up being that.
And he will be by the end of it. But everyone will connect this era of Georgia football with one field goal kicker.
Well, I
And
mean,
it's Rodrigo. And rightfully so.
understandable.
for sure.
Rightfully so. Dude was
I mean,
dialed.
He's the Brett Thorson of place kickers. Like the marketability of that guy, the connection to that guy, like he is that. So it's absolutely fair.
He
that
posted
it's
up
that
with
case.
Cuervo at the Rose Bowl
right,
before that
like,
game.
Come on, man.
Stunned.
Legendary.
And then to hit that field goal like he did,
Legendary.
ball player. Good for him. Good for Brett. It's a shame that when Tate left, they couldn't keep that podcast going.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was stumped. Like, I have I think I have an eye for talent in football. But I think I really have an eye for talent in this, in what we do. I think he's going to be great when he's done. Now, however long that football career is, but I think this guy's going to be electric on television. You know, he reminds me of Peter Moreland for the Braves broadcast.
Yeah.
I think Brett might have a career like that. Now, I don't know if Brett's going to be front center host of a podcast like Pat McAfee, but having that dude do color, that would be electric.
Let's get Brett on the show.
I'm sure we can get Brett on the show when he's done, you know.
That'd be so fun, dude.
You know, it's tough. I thought we were going to have way more people last offseason, but guys,
Such a busy time
their
of year.
schedules are insane.
Yeah.
They're not in town.
Such a
all
big
the way up till the
transitioning
draft,
time.
and then they get drafted and they go straight to their place. Like, we try to get Tate in studio. I think Tate and we were available the entire summer, 3 days out of the entire summer.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out. The only guy who's ever just gone out of his way to come over here was Cedric.
Yeah.
And we love Ced for that reason.
Hell yeah,
There's
Ced.
a lot of reasons to love Cedric. That's one of the main ones. Let's look at this 2026 schedule, shall we, boys?
Yeah, so
This shit's doable.
well, that was kind of what I was looking at. Is like, based on everything that's happened this year, already this offseason with coaching changes, transfer portal entries, coordinators going elsewhere, you just kind of go down this list and look at what the schedule looks like for you, and it's a 9-game SEC schedule, and it's going to be one of the top 25 on the strength of schedule as far as hard as it goes. There's a lot of manageable stuff going on here. Your first 2 weeks are against tomato cans. You're going to start out 2-0. Ooh, that's a big super sub.
Hell yeah, Rick Texags.
Anyways, you're gonna start out 2-0. If you don't shut the season down, anyways, it doesn't matter. But you're playing at Arkansas in your first SEC game with a first-year head coach with a new roster.
A first-year head coach who had the gall to talk
yes.
shit about you.
Yes.
A year before playing.
By the
you.
way, do we think that Taylor Green is he out of is this his last year?
I think so.
So you're gonna have a new head coach.
The lefty's pretty good though.
You're gonna have a new quarterback. He's gonna be making his first start against an SEC team. Will be against
Jackson. Is that his name?
I'll look it up.
Will be against your Georgia Bulldogs defense.
I want to ask you, Jonathan, because I loved him coming out of high school. He's a Mobile, Alabama kid, or an Alabama kid. Sorry,
KJ Jackson.
Then your next game is at home against Oklahoma. That's a tough matchup, but it's early in the season. You still have a lot of time to figure things out. You imagine that John Mateer, Ben Arbuckle, that whole staff is going to be back. It's not an easy matchup, but it's at home in Athens. You don't lose in Athens unless it's against the Alabama Crimson Tide. So, again, very favorable. Next is Vandy at home. Guess who's coming to town? Jared Curtis left you at the altar. The Vanderbilt Commodores, who, by the way, are going to be losing a lot of talent.
Is that the football team who has to replace the most starters this year?
Gotta be
in this conference.
And it makes sense.
They've got 38 super seniors, guys.
They were the most experienced team in the conference coming into the year. So
an interesting rebuild up there.
The attrition up there, that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on.
Bare minimum, they're paying Jared Curtis $900,000 next year.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I would imagine it's more.
They're not spreading
funds. They're not paying him
funds.
what Georgia was going to pay him to come to Georgia.
No, they are not spreading funds evenly. Like, the quarterback is going to be a lot of their roster. So,
and the quarterback is not already marketable.
No.
He's coming out of high school. Now, I'm sure he's from Nashville. I'm sure there are some companies up there that want to throw some money around him. But if he's making $3 million, $2 million of it's probably going to come out of the rev share.
Yeah.
If I were to, I would imagine this year, however much money Pavia was making, a lot of that was probably from realistic, you are marketable.
Yeah.
Your name, your image, your likeness is worthy of paying
this is the highest rated quarterback prospect in Vanderbilt history. So, I mean, he's going to be marketable.
And look, maybe they don't even have to care. Maybe the Nate Bargatze guys paid him. Who knows? You have no idea. We have no idea how this money gets made. And how it gets paid out.
Speaking of marketable, dude, you're looking hella marketable today.
Dude, aren't I looking fresh?
You are, dude.
I've been looking fresh for about a week and a half now.
Dude, I'm mad because I went home for the holiday, a holiday party this year, and left all my Roback stuff at home. I've been wearing this jacket for 3 days.
Should have gone back.
I
should have gone back for the Roback.
By the way,
tonight.
I definitely pulled the vest off this weekend.
You pulled it off?
Oh, yeah. I pulled it off.
So Jonathan and I have been talking about how we style a vest, like the ones that our friends from Roback have given us. And if you use promo code, FILM?
Promo code FILM.
Promo code FILM, you get 10% off, or 20%
No, you get
20% off any purchase over there at Roback, including those fine vests. I tried to pull it off this weekend.
Keeps you warm.
Oh, my God, does it ever. Your innards nice and warm with those.
They gave me a nice polo that matches, so I rocked the polo underneath, put the vest on over top.
Pulled it, huh?
Man.
That I will be wearing my polo on Friday when we're in college, or Saturday.
I'm gonna try to don't rock it with the joggers untucked.
No, the joggers were tucked in. Hey, I'm not worried about the style, dude.
I think I'll try to pull the vest off in New Orleans. I think I'll try.
You should do it.
I think I'm going to. But this quarter zip can't go wrong with this thing, brother.
No,
My
never.
God, I look like I'm ready to do your finances right about now. Shout out to our friends over at Roback. All right?
Promo code FILM, get 20% off. Back to the schedule, though, and this is the most interesting one in my opinion. At Alabama, there's a world, and it seems unlikely right now. There's a possibility that when you play Alabama next year, they will have a new head coach and a new quarterback.
Yeah, like a 5% chance.
It's slim. There's a possibility, though.
I think more likely you're facing the same coach, the same quarterback with like a half as good of a defense.
Yeah.
This is very possible.
Because they should lose Justin Jefferson, Deontay Lawson, Tim Keenan, LT Overton.
Quay's gone, right?
Keon Saab.
Yeah, Keon Saab. Quay, I think, is draft eligible, I want to say.
Rousseau, he'll be
think.
back.
Yeah, I was going to say, but he'd
Yeah,
probably
he's not
be
gonna get
back by
drafted.
now.
not drafted enough, high enough to go, right? Like the corners are going to be back.
Does Bray Hubbard have eligibility? I don't know.
Is Bray Hubbard like the third safety off the board right now?
That's what I was going to say. He's probably honestly up there on the draft numbers
Guys
for safeties.
played him into a chance where he might not be there next year. I think if you're looking at Alabama in 2026, you're looking at how much can they score on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be career malpractice for Ty Simpson to declare for this year's draft.
Agreed, but it's
I
possible.
love him.
It's a
I
possibility.
think he's great,
Now,
but I think it would be malpractice.
could
It is a
rattle-
possibility.
Could rattle off 4 games in a row where it's, that guy's back near the top.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
very well could
But that
happen.
takes, again, a very valiant effort.
So the Alabama one's kind of interesting. It could work out in your favor. It could be more of the same. Next game you have is against Auburn at home. Auburn has not beaten you at home in 20 years, and they'll have a new head coach.
Also,
Yep.
the wide choice hasn't beaten Kirby Smart.
Nope.
No, it
Just
hasn't.
gonna let
Has
you know
not.
that. If you're an Auburn fan, and if you have any trepidation about this hire, you care only about beating Alabama, and I get that. But these wide choice offenses get their brains beat in by Kirby Smart. They have. And the reason being is because they stop the run with light counts. That's what they do. So your offense is predicated off of doing something that Georgia feels really, really comfortable doing, and that's not necessarily ideal for a chance to come with an upset.
Yeah. Next up is the Florida Gators. You played this game in Atlanta this year, so it's not going to be a neutral site game. They always pack the Bends. Now it might be because it's the Georgia-Florida weekend, but that's not going to be a road environment you're in. That's a very familiar venue for you. And oh, by the way, new head coach, new OC, an OC that you put in a box, and a new starting quarterback.
Who was with me last week?
For what?
SC Championship.
I was.
That felt 65-35 Georgia, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
On the field, it felt that
You
way.
could
I don't know
hear
what it
it.
felt like from the box.
You could hear it.
Yeah. I mean, they now I know it was the fourth quarter, but they booed the band off.
Sure did.
That's how many dogs were in that stadium. So you're right. It's technically a home game. It will be a home game for Georgia in that matchup, unless folks from Florida want to travel up north in the middle of Halloween season.
For sure.
Yeah, no. This is another interesting one for me.
Hold on. Before you go into the next matchup, I do think the Florida game has become more difficult
With Buster?
with John and Buster.
That's
I
fair.
just think they're a better program.
Right.
Off rip, day one. So that it becomes a much more difficult matchup annually.
Yeah.
Annually, yes, but this upcoming season, I don't think so.
Maybe.
Year one. Got to give it some time.
Year one of a head coaching search, and you don't know who their quarterback's going to be. It's an OC that
I know who their quarterback is going to be. If you think Aaron Philo ain't going to be the starting quarterback,
I was going to ask.
you're
I was going to
silly.
ask this.
You're absolutely silly.
I was going to ask this. But Brooks, Georgia Tech fans tell me that Georgia Tech way better place than the University of Florida.
What the? Huh?
Yeah. Dude, when Buster Faulkner left Georgia Tech to go to Florida, there were Georgia Tech fans saying, "Why on earth would you leave Georgia Tech for Florida?"
Okay.
Moving on.
Another interesting one. At Ole Miss, they're going to have a new head coach.
Kind of.
Sort of.
Kind
It
of.
might be your second time playing
Certainly
this
a new
guy.
offense, more than likely.
They will definitely it sounds like they're going to have a new quarterback. There's going to be a lot of new that you're playing in this team. Then you play Missouri at home.
Who knows what they look like?
I think it'll be
Exactly.
the same football team minus the edge rushers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where's Bo Pribula going to go?
that's fair.
Ahmad Hardy's got another year of eligibility.
Correct.
I mean,
But keep in mind, this is also the latter portion of the season at this
Correct.
point. What is that team going
what
to
are
look
they?
like?
What are they? Yeah.
Yeah. Same for South Carolina. They're going to meet now. You're at South Carolina. What does Lenore Sellers look like? They'll be having a new OC. He'll be fairly seasoned at this point, but still, that doesn't terrify you as a matchup. And then you close it out against Georgia Tech, who will have a new quarterback and a new OC. So there's a lot. And for as much as we always talk about how great it is that this core coaching staff of Kirby Smart is assembled, stays together, it's perfectly paying in this. I just went through 1, 2, 3, 4, all 12 of your regular season games, and there's more than half of them are going to be, we have a new head coach, we have a new quarterback, we have a new something, to where it's like, man, they already have an uphill battle against us.
Breaking news: Arch Manning will return to Texas.
Oh,
Yeah, they've already got the "Will he win the Heisman" articles written.
of course they do, dude.
I saw that already.
Wash, rinse, and repeat from this past offseason, baby.
Also, I broke that news in July. So
I think you even looked at the camera and said, save this date, it's July something, Brooks
Yeah.
Austin will, yeah.
but We don't break news. We're not news breakers around here. We won't do that.
What I'm most interested about next year's schedule is because I just think back to this year where there were so many teams and so many games where it's like, this game, this is the one that you really need to keep an eye on. Like, so many things change from, like, obviously, because you're making a projection during the offseason. We're not even in the offseason yet, but you're making a projection about how you're going to feel about these teams moving into next year. Very interested to see, like, how these teams move up and down, like, the totem pole of difficulty of game from now until beginning of August.
What game, in your opinion, changed the most from the offseason to when it actually was played?
Ole Miss for me.
Yeah, Ole Miss. I was thinking Tennessee.
Tennessee's a good one.
Because they had a quarterback change.
Yeah.
And how much the system changed over the year. Alabama's going to be a war.
It's the same thing every time,
It's
man.
a freaking war. So, yeah, it's got to be that for me.
I'm going to go Tennessee here because I remember vividly in the offseason when all the Nico Iamaleava stuff was happening and all of that drama was going on. I was like, oh, well, Tennessee's an easy win this year. And we got closer to that game, and the season started, and it was like, hey, Tennessee might not be a rollover or a pushover, and to the point where it's like, wow, Tennessee's actually a really good football team right now. Obviously, the season didn't end the way they wanted it to, but from the offseason to when that game was played, I think the Tennessee matchup changed for me most, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's a good question.
Are
you going to ask this one?
I got to.
Go ahead.
And I know the answer.
Oh, I'm excited for you to ask this, actually, because I have a really good answer.
Does Kirby Smart pick up the phone and say, hey, Dylan, here you're entering the portal?
Dylan Lonergan?
No, the one that was committed to you last year, 2 years ago, and said, I have to write this poem and go chase my legacy and build something greater.
The Raiola guy?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say no, he does not get a phone call.
If I'm Kirby Smart, do I want to bring the quarterback back that started for my university for the last 15 games, finished 7th in the Heisman race, is on the verge of potentially winning a national title this year, will die for the G, has been loyal to the G, loves this place with his entire heart?
Is the character and core of the entire program?
Or do I pick up the phone and call the quarterback who is about to play for his 7th school in whatever many years, sixth school in 7 years, that did us dirty on early National Signing Day, so much so that he wrote a poem about us and left us in the dust? That's a really hard decision, Christian.
Now,
I'm glad you proposed this question. I will provide you with an answer.
I mean,
no.
One might argue he ran from hard. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you run from hard, what do you get? You get more hard.
You get soft.
You get more hard in your life. When you run from hard things, you end up getting more hard. That's what Kirby Smart told us like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Not even that. So no, I don't think he's gonna be
Look, I knew that was a no. I had to ask it. I felt like that was a
Now,
fair.
the real question is, when Jared Curtis gets sacked, I don't know, 3 times a game next year, and he calls.
No.
What do you do then?
No.
Hey, at that point, do you get him at a cheaper price?
No, I don't want.
Maybe this was the plan all along. Get the stock down a little bit.
Chestnut checkers.
That would be devious.
Yeah, Jared, I mean, you threw 10 interceptions and you got sacked 3 times a game, and the stats weren't what we thought.
Look, you were prorated to make 1.2 here your second year. We had to rip that one up. We're going to give you about $750. How does that feel? How's that sound? Get you out of that. Yeah, I think it's a no.
Yeah.
It's definitely a no. I had to ask. I had to ask.
Thank you for asking that question.
I appreciate you.
I'm sorry because
it's topical.
Yeah, I mean, no dumb questions. That felt dumb to ask, but I had to do it.
All right.
Super Chubs, hit them real
Super
quick.
Chubs, let's do it. We got a lot of them.
Because we got a very generous Super Chub, too.
Yeah, we did.
We got to make sure we read that one.
Start with Andy Kicklighter. And am I the OGs of OGs? I watched you play, oh, my God. I watched you play Savannah Christian Academy or Savannah Christian School in the state championship game in 2011. Sorry you got worked by our boy D'Angelo Brown by Jay Wilson, PBJ Beers. Love y'all.
Buddy.
So Andy's really picking at a scab that hurts me to this day. My junior year of high school football, I played for a state title game against Savannah Christian, and we got our doors blown off 20-6. And D'Angelo Brown, the then Louisville commit, ate my soul for 4 quarters. I saw him on the sidelines of a Georgia game this past year, and he recognized me from beating my ass.
Nice.
Not from, hey, you're that guy on YouTube. Hey, you're that little kid I beat the shit out of at Landmark that one time 10 years ago, aren't you? Yeah, that's me. God. Rick, Tex Ags 1, says, spending money for the long drives, Red Bulls. Aggies 31-17 over Miami. Gig 'em. Beat the hell out of Miami. $49.99. How many Red Bulls could that buy?
I don't know. More of a monster guy.
Yeah, you're a big stir guy. I'm a big rain guy.
Yeah.
You might as well be a Mormon.
You're just
Mormon.
I mean, you're a no vices guy. You're just here. You're just around.
Dude, my juice comes naturally.
No foos over here. No foos from that guy. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. We love you. Hope you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. See ya.